From YouTube, man, just a couple of numbers and thoughts from you statistically, Chulenko, before the boys rip it into it.
I'll touch on the crowd. So the last time Brisbane played in front of more than 50,000 people was back in round 10, 2006 against Collingwood. So the record home and away crowd for the Brisbane Bears/Lions is just under 62,000. That was back in 2003, and I reckon they'll be broken today. But you look at the Tigers. They've won the past 12 against Brisbane by an average winning margin of 43 points. Lions have lost their last 7 at the G by an average losing margin of just under 8 goals. And just a couple of individual players. Look at Dion Prestia. He's played every game this year, only the second time in his 9-year AFL career to have achieved that feat. He's averaging career-high disposals at 27, past month at 33. And for the Brisbane Lions, Jared Lyons, he's also played every match this season. Past 6 rounds, clearly the number 1 ranked player at Brisbane, averaging 28 disposals, 8 clearances and 8 tackles. And Charlie Cameron, 15 majors from his past 3 games, Howie, 52 for the year.
Very nice serving from you, Chew, man. Quickly Autobahn round the ground, start of the final term up at Ballarat, Chewy.
It is, and the Bulldogs in control, leading the Crows by 41 points. And that's early into the final quarter.
All right, Rocket, Duck, talk us through this one at the MCG. We'll start with you, Rodney Eade, 4-time premiership player and very successful coach.
Really looking forward to it, as everybody else is, Howie. I'm a bit more on the Lion train than everybody else here in Melbourne. As far as I think they'll give a good account of themselves today and maybe a really good chance of winning. I wouldn't have any problem actually picking them. I think Cochin back in is a really big in for the Tigers. They play this surge game, or as Neil Baum said earlier, they like to handle a bit more and move the ball quickly. But so the Lions. The Lions have won their games a different way, and I think they've got a real steel edge and a toughness around them at the moment, and a lot of belief. Zorko in the middle with Neil, Robinson on a wing, who gives them a harder edge as well. Their defence has held up really well. Harris Andrews has been a terrific player all year, and I think he's a lock in All-Australian. He's been terrific. Darcy Gardner, as Fagan said earlier as well when we interviewed, have done really well. But it will test them today. The Tigers are in really good form. Both teams have won 8 or 9 straight now. The 2 form teams of the competition with the Bulldogs. Lynch, I don't think Lynch should suit him today, but I think I'd back Andrews as a really good form on him. And Rewalt's the danger. Edwards is a real danger as well. It depends who can hang in the most, and I think Richmond have proved themselves. Now they've got a lot of confidence in their ability. They surge the ball, they hang in games, as proved last week against West Coast when they were 3-4 goals down. But I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go with the Lions. The Lions in a close one by a goal.
All right, nicely done by you, Rocket. We'll get your thoughts in a moment, Duck. But firstly, Bob Jane T-Marts, hurry in by 3, get 1 free on selected Bridgestone, Dunlop and Hankook tyres. We'll get the toss, Robbo, with you.
Yeah, Dane Zorko and obviously Cochin. And Cochin's won the toss, so going to the city end, the Tigers. And obviously Brisbane going to the punt road end. But got a good feeling about this one, Howie. Big crowd in, I reckon high 60s for sure in here. No worries. And there's 2 players that I'm going to keep my eye on, and that is the captain, Trent Cochin, as we know, hasn't played since round 19 with that hamstring. And Dylan Grimes rolled his ankle. He was a bit doubtful, the whisper was, before the game. But they're both playing, so no late changes. And no tag on Dusty, as we know, so we'll see how that unfolds early. As we know, Brisbane trained here yesterday, so their feeling and mojo is fantastic in the rooms. And Chris Fagan, I just want to see those emotional scenes again, Howie. And Charlie Cameron bag another 5 goals. But I'm going for the Tigers. They're too good on the G. They've won their last 6.
Beautifully done, Robbo. He is a star. Big crowd coming in. You can follow this game, hashtag AFL Tigers Lions. Ducky boy.
Yeah, one of the strengths of the Tigers, we know Rewalt is a star. We know Lynch. I think Lynch has been absolutely brilliant the last 5 or 6 weeks. But it's their spread of goal kickers. Twice out of the last 3 matches, they've had 10 or more goal kickers, so they really do share it around. And it is fascinating. We spoke to Chris Fagan not all that long ago, Howie, and he said 2 different styles.
Yeah.
Brisbane like to take ground by foot. Richmond like to take ground by hand off half back. So fascinating styles. Can't wait for this one to get underway.
Round the ground, Swatter. We've got the Bulldogs leading the Crows by 41 points, 4 minutes into the final quarter. That's thanks to Autobahn for Around the Ground.
Calling it?
Yes, I am, Duck.
Right now you can grab a small cheeseburger meal with your choice of pie for just $4 only at Macca's for McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. This is a big game of footy. Brisbane win, man. They go to first. West Coast up to 4th, Richmond down to 5th.
Correct.
Richmond win, then West Coast will finish in 5th. The Tigers will get the double chance.
Oh, there's a bit of feeling in this one already, Swat. A bit of push and shove.
Solid crowd on a Sunday afternoon. Second last game of round 23. And we're underway for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. Bolter. Lockie Neal tracks it. Feeds the handball back. McCluggage. What a year he's had, the kid. Chips the ball out wide. Lockie Neal will take the mark just to the edge of the Toyota logo. Beautiful conditions on a Sunday afternoon. He chips the ball back to McCluggage.
20 seconds in and he's had 2 disposals already, Swatter.
Number 6, McCluggage, just shorts it down the line to the quick Dane Zorko. There's a poll on Insta Triple M footy as he goes to Lions. Who would win a fight out of a Tiger and a Lion? So Duck's got his request in. We'll get the results from that at quarter time. And another possession from McCluggage, who marks in the pocket, and he'll get the opening shot of goal. Should have easily achieved, but it's a tough one. 2 metres inside the boundary on the outer side. Just chipped it round the outer wing there, the Lions.
Yeah, they certainly, as Chris Baker mentioned earlier, they want to go by foot. And the Tigers' defence collapsed back and just left a hole of space consistently for those last 3 or 4 kicks.
21-11 this season, the man from South Warrnambool. It's a tough angle.
Good club,
to the punt road end. There's a big crowd still coming in as well, Chewy.
Yeah, late 60s, I reckon, Howie.
McCluggage off a short run, doesn't want to get too close to the man on the mark, only stepped about 4 metres, enjoyed it off the boot. Perfect start to the Brisbane Lions at the MCG. Within a minute and 20 they're on the board, thanks to Hugh McCluggage. Brisbane won straight, Richmond yet to score. Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard, expertly designed bathroom packages you can change to suit you from $3,000. Choose Beaumont's.
I reckon the incident, when we spoke about pre-game about not tagging Martin, I wonder whether Lockie Neal, he's not going to be tagged either. So he helped set McCluggage up. They got a couple of possessions, got the ball out of the middle. So it's going to be a bit of a shootout in many ways. So who's going to control this midfield? And Stephen Martin was the first centre bounce, jumped over the top of Saldo. So he's a really good player, Martin. He could give them drive out of there.
Having a good year, McCluggage, averaging 22 disposals and kicked 22 goals, Swatter, which is third for their respective club. But this is a good start. I mean, this is a finals-type atmosphere. Really important for the Lions to get off to a
big
good start.
test for Brisbane today. 2 weeks out from the finals. It's been a great year. We spoke to the coach in the preview. Salter got a handball. Prestia got it off to Dusty. Charges towards the 50-metre arc. Over the top of Tommy Lynch. Bang! There's your quick reply. Martin, no, it's not Martin and Prestia involved, and Dusty's kicked it from outside 50. 2.5 gone, goal apiece. And that is on the Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard.
That was one where the ball just bobbled around the centre circle. There was 3 or 4 chances for players to grab it. Bit of a scrimmage. Ball come out by, was it Bolter, was it? He's the...
Prestia got out the handball.
Yeah, just... I think the big bloke got it to Prestia. Soldo got it to... he got it to Prestia, got it to Martin. It was on the forward movement already because Dusty likes to get forward. And it was a great kick from outside 50 on the run.
Red Z lending Dustin Martin past 4 matches against Brisbane, polled 3 best on grounds with 9 Brownlow votes. Last time kicked a career-high 6 majors.
Ooh, there's a Triple M Red Z lender. Don't the Brisbane Lions look fantastic in the old Fitzroy jumpers as well? So a bit of a wonky-donkey bounce, they'll recall it.
A what?
Wonky-donkey bounce. The kids never read the wonky-donkky.
Great audio.
Yeah, it's a good audio book as well, says Grandpa Rocket in the back row. Oh, Dusty gets it out of the middle again. Oh, high fend on Lockie Neal is away. By G was bursting out of the middle again. Now the Lions will come back the other way with equal vigour. Long left foot 70-metre ball by Rich. Big fly there from Eric, didn't get a hand on it. Castagna under pressure, kicks in a hurry only as far as Daniel Rich.
Yep, having a good year too, this man.
He's having a very good year, Swatter.
Yep, chips it over the top. Zorko's got it. Right half forward. Always brings some energy. Keen to move it on. Goes to the pocket. Kick got the carry. It did. Lions have numbers. Here's Popeye Hipwood. Couldn't get boot to ball. And coming through was Broad. He's tackled well by McCluggage. And we'll have it thrown up. Here's Rodney Eade.
I think it's interesting. Whenever they get the ball from outside 50 on a mark, all the forwards go to the goal square. Defenders go with them and leave space for players to lead into.
That's your Triple M Seabus Super special comment. Rodney Eade alongside Wayne Carey. Seabus Super offering members insurance cover that protects building construction workers. They're holding it inside 50, the Lions. Ducking his head, Zorko. Otherwise, he was going to get a high tackle in the end. He's done for holding the ball.
What about the matchup of Cameron and Grimes on Cameron is a good one? that's the versatility of Grimes. Can play tall and can play small.
Because your ankle would want to be okay. And Grimes playing on Charlie.
Prestia, broadcast wing, not a good kick. The mark will be taken by Ainsworth. Goes back, Gardner. Darts the ball to Mad Mitch, having a great year. Throws it on the left. Shoe with a high finger breaker inside 50.
Big fly, comes to ground. Richmond have got the numbers at ground level. Castagna out to Lambert. Little slider is good. Hits Josh Caddy. And Neil Barmstead's been playing some good footy on the wing since he's come back in the side.
Heads towards Rewat on the outer wing. Martin got there, got involved, got a hand on the ball. Couldn't take it cleanly. Goes back, mopped it up. Tackled well. Is that a throw? Gone. Good pressure. Bolton darts away. Has a bounce.
Exciting player by hand of Prestia. He'll look to hit a target inside 50. He's got Ellis all on our zone on the wing. He's got a further target inboard. And that's a good build-up from the Tigers. And it lands in the hands of the number 11, Jason Castagna, who'll have a shot on a 45-degree angle from 35 metres.
In that passage of play, they've had the 3 uncontested marks. Before that, it was 9-1 in front of the Lions. But on that far wing, there was a contest. It was 3-1 in favour of the Lions, and they couldn't get the ball out. Martin got it, got tackled, and then from there, from the turnover, Richmond having a shot at goal.
I'll get your thoughts on what they're going to do about Dustin Martin in a moment, Duck, because already he's kicked a goal and has looked very sharp. Castagna trots in, hooks it, slices it completely out on the full. Wow. This is everything.
His technique,
one apiece.
He's really got some faults with his technique. That's why he likes to kick around the body, which we questioned last week.
He's only a 53% man.
What do they do about Dusty Martin, the Lions, Duck?
Mitch Robinson for me.
Well, you think Robinson straight onto him?
Yep.
So the Lions
it is very early.
Broadcast wing, flicking handball into the path of Link McCarthy. Couldn't take it, went back, got it, spins into trouble. Good tackle by Jaden Short. No, it was Ellis. The ball bobbles around. There's a lot of players around, including the big O. Got it over to Hodge. He knows this ground really well. Handball off to Rayner.
He just sends it round his body, but Richmond have got the spare man down there, and it's Flostone. It's an aggressive kick into the middle of the MCG. It's a good kick. Releases Rioli. He'll want to go. Does. Spreads it to Caddy on the outer wing on the move.
Yep. Runs over the Toyota logo on the outer wing. Goes down the line towards Rewalt. Went early. Went too early. Got up. Couldn't affect the contest. Adams just chips the ball out wide. McCluggage, what's he had for Red Z Lending, Ash?
4 touches, 3 marks and a major.
Yeah, it's McCluggage on Caddy, swat up. So we've seen Caddy find a bit of space out there. They're not very close to one another.
Lockie Neal, a little chipping ball. Hits McStay. He's on the outer wing. 1 goal apiece. Through that man McCluggage and Dustin Martin. Plays on now, does the big number 25, left foot ball. Eric got a bit of a push. Falls down towards Rayner. It's a good hand pass. Cameron's out the back. The motorbike might be fired up here. Charlie Cameron. Across the face. Had options inboard.
There's options at the top of the square, which is the captain Zorko. And he decided to have a miracle shot from the boundary.
1-1 to 1 straight. Lions lead. What's happening in the Rat, man?
Bulldogs by 53 points over the Crows, almost halfway into the final quarter.
They home?
They're definitely home. They'll be sitting 7th on the ladder.
All right. Shy Bolton's got it. Broadcast half-back flank. Punt road end. Lynch with Andrews. That's a good matchup. There's Berry. Flick the handball to Bailey. Darts through heavy traffic. That's a throw. Interception Lambert. He'll pump it inside 50.
1-on-1 contest. Pushing off his man. Revolt. He's got out the back of Adams. Then couldn't get a handle. He was running into an open goal. Jack Revolt managed to get a boot on it. Dishes out towards Rioli. Right foot check side if you don't mind. D. Rioli. Well, I guess you don't need a left when you can do that on your right. Richmond are 2 straight. Brisbane are 1-1 on the Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard. Bob Jane T-Marts hurry in by 3. Get 1 free on selected Bridgestone, Dunlop and Hancock tyres. Mickey Roberts.
Yeah, Howie. Rioli just ran on the ground. Ran straight there, picked up the ball and kicked the goal straight away. Unbelievable. I watched Chris Fagan down here. His reaction when Cameron should have gone to the top of the square. Nothing. He's pretty cool, Fagan. He actually talks quietly. He coaches very well from down here.
Alarm bells already with Adams on Rewalt. He
got pushed out easy.
Oh, yeah, Rewalt. And then Rewalt went back to the goal square after his second contest, looking at the Bosch Tools replay screen, and Adams got caught ball watching. Rewalt was all on his own, standing in the goal square. So if Rioli had have missed that, he might have got a word from Jack.
Triple M C-Bus Super special comments. Wayne Carey, Rodney Eade, Cedric Cox hard off the line at half forward. Neil with a good tackle inside the square.
Got good arms though, Adams. But Not, it doesn't have a lot of agility, Schwatter, is what I'm trying to say.
I know, but he's got good arms.
Eats 12 eggs every morning or something, I think I read somewhere.
All right, there you go.
I'd take arms over agility any day.
So would I. So Prestia will pump it long. Man out the back door. Castagna got room to move. Gets inside 50. Closes to 45. Pushes it to the far side of behind. 2-1. 1-1. Tigers lead by 6 points. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
He had options, but he was also entitled to run in and kick a goal, and he should have kicked it.
12 eggs.
Yeah, apparently.
Breakfast.
Thinks he's a chook.
Chook's way of not eating,
Probably
Rocket.
eat eggs, Rocket.
Another
He's
reason
sort
why
He might be laying them himself.
Oh, right.
cannibalistic, really.
He might lay an egg today.
So the
If
line
Jack gets hold of him.
go down the line. Charlie Cameron had no support, so in the end, Cooley should mop up for the Tigers with a sweeping hand pass. Back to Broad. Prestia gets around Cameron a little bit too easily and goes inboard. Gee, the Tigers look on.
Yep. Just wouldn't mind seeing the Lions take the speed off the game for a few minutes, Rocket.
They're just not. No, their forwards are too high up the ground.
Yep.
And the Tiger defence just stays at home all the
So
time.
Rioli's out on the outer half forward flank, feigned the handball, feigned the kick, feigned the bounce, then had one, got caught. Good chase. And guess who? From Dancing Dane, Dane Zorko, good tackle from the captain. They are under real heat here, trailing by a goal, Brisbane.
Just laid a hand on him exactly at the time he took the bounce, didn't he? So Gardner's got it in the back pocket. Cluggish kicked the first for the Lions, then Martin and Rioli. A couple of big names for the Tigers. They've given Richmond a 6-point lead. Autobahn around the grounds, Stu.
Bulldogs, they're out to a 53-point lead over the Crows, halfway into the final quarter.
And Zorko's got Hipwood inside 50. Similar spot to McCluggage's goal, probably about 10 metres further out, but he'll kick from 48 metres out and about 2 metres inside the boundary.
He doesn't mind these ones from about this distance, Howie.
Okay, so you're telling me the Hawks are still a chance, Chewy?
Very minuscule.
I can hear the from here.
That's it. The Hawthorn players, no doubt, watching this game. Slightly disappointed after what Adelaide have served up, but well done to the Dogs. They will be a wild card in September. Eric hits 43. In the end, it's going to land right at the top of the goal square. Steph Martin got hands to it. Baker working in a tight spot. Now Grimes, Prestia. Can he hit a man out of defence? He can, and that's Jack Rewalt.
Yep. Took the mark in front of Adams. Keen to move it on. Jack darts the ball towards the outer wing. Gardner got a hand in there. He'll want to see it go out of bounds. And it does on the southern wing. So the Beaumont Tile scoreboard, Richmond 2-1-13, Brisbane 1-1-7. Expertly designed bathroom packages you can change to suit you from just $3,000. Choose Beaumont's.
Umpire sets themselves. They've still come in here, Chew. What are you thinking, crowd-wise?
Jeez, must be nudging close to 70,000. I reckon about 68, 69.
What about effort, Chew? We had 85 here on Friday night. I think they had 100 at Marvel, 2 days at the basketball, and now 70 plus at the MCG. Good crowds by the Melbourne sporting public. I think the Melbourne Storm are playing across the way today as well, aren't they, Schwatter?
Yep.
Who are they playing?
No idea.
Another rugby league team. And as the ball's tossed back in, I think they're playing the Titans, in fact. Now, comes to Lockie Neal, runs his full measure, wobbles the ball forward. Oh, nicely done by Vlostone. Cleaned it up with one hand, took the mark, and he's got it at centre half back with his team leading by a kick halfway through the first term.
He's another player who's had a great year, Nick Vloston. Hawley, here they go. They flick it around by hand. Lambert, good chase. That was Rayner, bouncing ball towards the broadcast wing. Here comes the tattooed one. Dusty gathers, wheels around, arcs the kick. It's perfect. Got it to Castagna. Got to get going. Tommy Lynch is darting back to the goal square.
Lynch is out. Castagna can't get back off the mark quick enough. Goes to Cochin. Is this his first touch, Chew, or not?
Red Head Lending it is.
He goes to Tommy Lynch. Hodge gets a fist on it. Caddy eyes. Can only see it across the line. Nice defensive work by Luke Hodge.
Tell you what, Zorko did well there. Should have been probably a free kick to Lynch. Took his eyes off it and shepherded him out of the marking contest. Looking at the Bosch Tools replay screen there. Got away with it.
Richmond by a goal. That's the voice of the King, Wayne Carey, alongside of Rodney E. Two-man wedge between those two. Robbo, Howie and Swatter. Throw in, darting away. Kick around the corner. Graham bounces to the right-hand side through from behind. A let-off for Brisbane. 2-2-14. 1-1-7, 14 and a half gone. Tigers lead. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Well, they're moving the ball with pace, Richmond, aren't they? They're right on top here. The only thing they haven't done is put them away on the scoreboard.
And their play-on percentage is 50%. Our AFL average is 26. And any ground ball, they're winning all the ground balls.
Autobahn round the grounds in the Rugby League, Chewy.
We've got the Storm leading the Titans 18-8, 64 minutes in.
Okay. Another big finals campaign for the Melbourne Storm, Ducky boy. Like your NRL.
He's an unbelievable coach, Bellamy. They lose players every year and they just keep stacking up.
Gets recycled operators that turns into quality players and quality team. Now Bailey takes it on the outer wing, check side back inboard. Richmond in the best position again. Vlostone, he's proving a handful.
Yeah, second at Richmond for intercept marks is Vlostone having a great year.
Castagna's had plenty of it, goes into the middle. Now Dusty, little don't argue on a step, here he goes.
Oh, look at that.
Darting ball to Rewalt. Took the mark down low, 45 out, City end. Take a bow, Dusty.
Yeah, he's easily, Schwatter, the best midfield kick in the game. Best midfield kick. So Fife and Danger, as good as they are, they can't do that.
No. Again, they're getting drive off half-back.
Yeah, they've got to be better with their kicks inside 50, Brisbane.
Yeah, but they've got an extra defender. They're playing 7, but then an extra forward or 2 for Brisbane are pushing up too high. So
3 in a row, 16 gone, opening term. Tigers just starting to flex their muscles. Rewalt's got his first to go with Rioli and Martin. The big names getting going. And Brisbane, well, they've got their hands full. 3-2-20. Richmond lead the Lions 1-1-7. 16 and change played opening term. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard. A rubbo, Bob Jane T-Mark.
Swatter, we asked Chris Fagan in the interview before the game, they're not going to tag Dusty, and then he said, when things unfold, we may have to. I reckon it's time. Seriously, right now, you got to do it.
Well, you'd just be licking your lips with Dusty running through the midfield with no pressure.
He needs people on him. And they need to change that. They need to have Robinson on him. At least he can run with him, and he's physical enough.
Just seeing the Brisbane Lions coach on the bench talking to his young charger, Cam Rayner, on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Good, better Bosch. Professional power tools, measuring tools and accessories. Red lights everywhere for Brisbane. They kicked the first. Richmond have kicked the next 3. And again, they're going to get it out of the middle of the Tigers. Again, it's Revolt on the lead. And that is some pass. It travelled over about 60 metres at a low little ball angle from Dusty Martin.
What did I say 5 minutes ago, Rob?
Make the change.
I said I'm worried about the Rewalt-Adams matchup.
Yes, that. And Martin as well would have put Robinson. And Adams has got to start in front of him. He just lets him lead onto the ball.
He hasn't the athleticism to go with him.
Just looked on right from the start, Dusty Martin. Hence I asked you that question about 30 seconds in, Rocket. What are they going to do about him?
Yeah, want to make the change.
Revolt's kick 2. What about these names for the Tigers? Revolt 2, Martin and Rioli. And Richmond are off to the flyer that many people admittedly expected. 4-2-26, Brisbane 1-1-7. Facing some real questions coming in September right here, the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah, well, they've gone inside 58 times, Richmond, and they've taken 5 marks. So
they're dangerous going in there, don't they?
They look real dangerous, but the lack of pressure through the middle, they've just got so much time and space to use the footy as well.
Robbo.
Just looking at the bench, we got Hodge, Cameron and Zorko on the bench for the Brisbane Lions, and Cameron came off frustrated and just head in hands, unbelievable. He's so low, it's not funny down here.
Bob Jane T-Marts, hurry in, buy 3, get 1 free. Selected Bridgestone, Dunlop and Hankook tyres. Danger, danger, danger for Brisbane. Conceded the last 4 after getting the opening goal. They currently trail at the moment by 19 points. Bailey got it, broadcast wing, flicks a handball over to Witherden. He'll wobble the ball to half forward, but that's their problem, Rocket. Yep. Poor entries going forward. Brandon Ellis got a bad handball. They get involved again. Berry couldn't take it cleanly. Going back, Lions. Can they get a mark? No. Chipping in front is the wee man Baker.
48 splits it wide to the outer side. His team lead comfortably 26-7. They've kicked the last 4. After McCluggage kicked the first goal of the game, only a minute 15, and Hooley just continues to rack up possessions. What's he averaging this season, Red Z style, Chewy?
He's averaging 28. This is disposal number 5 already.
Big year, isn't it, for Basher Hooley? Could have been the Norm Smith medalist. On the outer side, Lions need to get their hands on the footy, and as Swatter said, maybe take a bit of tempo out of it. And Harris Andrews, his handball crosses the line on the outer side. Richmond 4-2. Lions 1-1. Autobahn around the grounds, Chewy.
Bulldogs by 44 points over the Crows, Howie. Just under 6.5 remaining.
So they will finish in 7th, Two-Man, is that right?
That's right, playing GWS away at Giant Stadium.
8th place will be the Bomb Rays.
Yep, playing West Coast.
West Coast. So a free kick going Brisbane's way goes to Stephen Martin, who's been quiet in this opening term for Brisbane, Ash.
Look at some of the Brisbane Lions numbers here. Charlie Cameron just 1 possession, 1 behind. Lions only the 2 touches as well.
So McCluggage on the outer wing, just inside the boundary line, heads towards Oscar McInerney. No mark taken. Darting on it was Jaden Short. Flicks a handball over to Baker. Back to Short, and he works across the face of his defensive goal square.
Well, risky kick out of defence. A chance for the Tigers, but Rioli just mops up. He started nicely. Big fly. Going a little bit too early. On the wing there was Shai Bolton. The umpire will toss it in. Centre wing, here's Rodney Eade.
This is going to be a bit technical, but at the stoppages, the defensive winger, the sweeping winger for Richmond, normally stays within 3 metres. He's dropping back 20 metres, forces a forward to come and pick him up, and they're getting their drop off all the time.
6 to go, the opening term. McCluggage feeds the handball back to Bailey. Good smother by Martin. Bailey will go back and get it again. Martin, a partial smother. Says a lot about the mindset. He can find it. Defensively, he does it too. Good handball. Edwards got it to Vlosten.
Short chipping ball. AFL logo on the wing. It's dropped. A simple chest mark, but they've got that much time. Castagna can pick it up again. Well, they go inside 50 again to Revolt, this time from Ellis. Oh, as Duck said, Marcus Adams is right under the pump. Rocket, just quickly explain in layman's terms what you're talking about as Riewoldt lines up for his third from about 48.
When you have a stoppage on the particular wing, that winger, that side for each team goes to the defensive side of the stoppage to give what's called a sweeping winger. Generally stands within 5 metres of that stoppage. That Richmond winger is dropping back 20 metres into space, forcing a forward that's a half forward to come up and pick him up. That half back then drops back and gives them an extra defender.
And a lot happening. Revolt for 3 in the term. Jackie Boy's on fire at the G. Richmond have got 5 in the blink of an eye. 5-2-32. The Lions 1-1-7 out to a 25-point margin. Just 21.5 into the first term on the Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard. Wow, Duck.
I think Darcy Gardner's got to go to Riewoldt, who's similar height, but has got more athleticism. Adams is okay in a straight line, but he's starting behind. So Riewoldt's as smart as footballer who is in the competition. He's worked Adams out. He's obviously done his homework on him, and he's been on the move. It's better for Adams to concede back space. He's got Lynch behind him anyway, so there's a chance then that Andrews will come off his man and help him support. But he's giving him front space all the time. Riewoldt's just leading up and just killing him.
Too many weights, not enough speed.
Jake DeMusk. Two-man, 3 goals in a term. Is that Jack's best return this year?
It is equal season high for him to date.
So a 25-point lead. Richmond, 5 in a row. Ball goes inside 50. Broad got a fist on it. Tracking back. Asprey squeezes the handball to Baker. Happy to step it out of bounds. Hamill have it thrown in. So they kick the opening goal through McCluggage. 1:17 into the game, but then 5 consecutive goals, including 3 to Jumping Jack. They're up by 25, Richmond.
So the Lions with a rare 4-way forward. And the big O taps it down towards Rayner. He can't get it clear. Bailey tries to affect the contest. Dusty gives him a shove. Bailey now steps through 1 tackle, 2. Lucky not to be penalised. He'll get another opportunity to access it. Rich with an unusual right foot. High ball. Doesn't favour anyone inside 50. Comes out toward Lions. He's had a good season. Neil goes off the ground. Oh, Castagna, you can't claim that. It only went about 10 metres. And kicks across the face in a rather risky fashion.
McCarthy to gather the bouncing ball. Centering kick is well smothered by Caddy. So they're very good attacking, but they're also very good and disciplined when they're defending. Caddy's smother was good. Ball ricochets out of bounds. We'll have it tossed in. 51 around from Brisbane's goal. They attack the punt road end. 1-1-7 trailing Richmond 5-2-32.
Kicked the last 5, the Tigers. And Jack Revolt has kicked the last 3 of the match, all on the lead, all set shots. Free kick to Zorko, who was legged. Can he get something going, the skipper? Multiple best and fairest winner at the Brisbane Lions. Lays it into the pocket towards McInerney. The big man stretches, takes the mark. This will test him, though, from about 25, and he'll have to cross the boundary line to do it. Tough one for him, Duck. And Rocket.
Yes,
Sorry.
mate. Yeah, very much so. They've actually kicked some good goals this year. From dead in front, this will test him. The thing that's really impressive about Richmond is their frontal pressure. They're coming forward, put pressure. Brisbane are on their heels and waiting for the Tigers to come at them.
That was a clever kick.
I'd like to back the big man.
And
Kicks
backing.
the distance. He kicks the goal. Oscar McInerney, no problemo. Much needed for the Brisbane Lions. They're 2-1. Richmond are 5-2. Back to 19 points. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard. Gee, they needed that one.
Yeah, it was a great kick from Zorko because he realised it was Edwards and Baker. They were the players standing next to the big fella, so he just put a little bit of air on it.
Yeah, smart kick. It was a smart kick from McInerney too. He ran out on the angle to open it up and kick across his body, but then he looked uncertain. He sort of had the two-step and didn't know whether to kick or not, but it was a very nice kick in the end.
Important goal for Brisbane. Trail by 19 points. 2-1, 5-2. Autobahn around the grounds. Two-man.
It's the Bulldogs by 39 points over the Crows, 2:40 remaining.
Final game, round 23, into the home and away. Between who, what time, where?
It's Port Adelaide taking on Fremantle, Adelaide Oval, 4:40 start.
That means
time.
nothing, Chewy?
Means absolutely nothing, Howard.
25 gone, opening term for McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. Line stands, Edwards tackles. Not going anywhere. So we'll have it thrown up inside the centre circle. It'll be Bolter against Martin. Robinson bumps into his own man. That was Ainsworth. They come out wide. Berry working hard. Rayner. I haven't called his name very often, Two-man.
Oh, no.
3 touches.
Gardner's just dropped the footy on the wing. It's going to open the door for the Tigers. They're going to come back through Lynch. He goes deep to the square. Revolt again. He's got a free kick. He's going to have 4 in a term. What was happening back here in the hands of Darcy Gardner?
Holy dooly.
It was a hooly-dooly moment, wasn't it?
Oh, there's a few errors here before. I mean, he's only young. Zach Bailey dropped one before and dropped a handball, and then that error then, which everyone's going to say they don't handle the situation very well. But it was a very poor. They were away then, Brisbane.
Gardner just dropped a chest mark. We'll get to Robbo shortly. Jack Revolt lining up for 4 in the term. Still Adam stands him. Harris Andrews sort of shaking a leg at Jack to try and put him off on the mark. Jack's got 4 in a quarter. And Richmond have got 6. 6-2-38. The Lions 2-1-13. 25 points again. 26-42 into the first term. Bob Jane T-Marts, Mickey R.
Howie, you know, I just said that Chris Fagan down here didn't react with Charlie Cameron with his shot on goal. I'll tell you what, he's just reacted now. Darcy Gardner, has he gone off his head down here? Unbelievable. So he's alive down here, Fagan.
He's alive all right. And this is Jack Revolt, who has got 4.
When was the last time he kicked 10, Two-man? I reckon it was the MCG.
Yeah, and I reckon he nailed a
Giant-
bag last year against the Sun.
Oh, the Sun, sorry.
Yeah.
The Sun's up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's got 4. It's been a blistering start for Richmond in this opening term. Out by 25, quick around the grounds.
It's the Bulldogs swatter leading the Crows by 33 points, 1:20 remaining.
For McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. They're doing as they please here, Richmond. And here comes Basher storming through the middle. He'll go inside 50. Rewald's going for everything. Stays down, whistle and play. It's going Brisbane's way to Harris Andrews.
Just with Rewald, so it was round 21 last year against the Suns. He nailed 10 majors.
Okay, and Harris has got it. Gee, they're dominating out of the middle of the Tigers. He drives the ball to the outer wing. Steph Martin can't take the mark. A little hand pass from Neil. He goes to McCluggage, who hits.
Oh, Hipper.
And the Hipper, who drops a similar mark out in front of his eyeballs. Putters up reasonably well at ground level, but they're all at sea at the moment, the Brisbane line.
Pressure, Howie.
It is pressure.
Not handling it.
Goes across the line with Richmond leading 38-13 deep in the first.
What's your message as you go out there at quarter time to Brisbane, Rocket?
Just be able to suck it in now and just take the best. We're better than this. Let's cool our jets and get the basics right.
1.5 to go at the opening term. They've been completely outplayed and monstered Brisbane. Richmond are really starting to warm up now. They know what September's all about. Look at the run. Look at the handball. They up beautifully. Graham's kicks poor. Getting in the way was Robinson. And now on the reload, McCluggage.
They've got 1:20 on the clock. The Lions drive the ball towards the attacking 50. Richmond at ground level have got the numbers through Hawley. There's a free kick, is it? Yeah, he got pushed there, Basher.
I don't know if there's a stat, Ash, but if any contest, any gets the crumbs, if there's a stat like that, whether it's ground ball, I reckon Richmond are winning 95% of them. There's no Brisbane players at the fall of the footy.
That's the voice of Rodney Eade, alongside of Wayne Carey and the Two-Man. Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. Outer wing. Harris Andrews getting tackled by a couple of Tigers. Breaking free.
The Tigers are the number one turnover scores from turnovers in the competition, man. How many have they got today from turnovers?
Yeah, 4 out of their 6 majors have come from Brisbane turnovers.
And it's Wayne Carey and the two-man working beautifully in the back row alongside Rodney Eads, not missing as the ball just stumbles across the line. And we've got 14 seconds to go, so Chew will give us the final score shortly in Ballarat. And we've got 54 seconds of this one. Here's Wayne Swash on Sunday afternoon footy.
Half forward, out of sight. Punt road end, that's Brisbane's end. 13-38, that's the problem for Brisbane though. Edwards, what a player. Couldn't break the tackle, and now he's been pinged for holding the ball or dropping.
How many tackles is that for Brisbane now, Ash?
Yeah, Brisbane, they've only laid the 10 tackles. Look at their pressure rating. It's at 174 opposed to their season average at 189.
So the Bulldogs will play finals. They've got a big win at Ballarat against the Adelaide Crows as Basher Hooley is wrapped up. Final scores up there, please, Two-Man.
Bulldogs 18-13, 121, defeated the Crows by 34 points, 13-9, 87. Bulldogs secured inside the 8, sitting 7th on the live ladder.
The Lions, can they get something late in the term? Basher Hooley says, no, not on my watch. It's his best to get it out of his defensive area. Now Lambert puts it out in front of Lynch. Left foot ball, hack forward. Hodges there playing the role of the goalkeeper. He goes short into the middle of the ground, finds Lyons with 10 seconds on the clock.
So he'll go out wide. There'll be no further scores. Robinson will take the mark, but that one's in the book. And that's a dominant opening quarter from the Tigers. Rewalt kicked 4. In fact, he kicked the last 4 goals for Richmond in that term. 6-2-38. Brisbane 2-1-13. Final score, Bulldogs defeating Adelaide.
Bulldogs 18-13, 121, defeating the Crows by 34 points, 87 points out.
Tigers by 25 at quarter time for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy.
Quarter time here at the MCG, and Reebok has kicked 4 in the first term. And Richmond lead it comfortably 6-2-38 to the Lions, 2-1-13. Thought I had a bit longer to get through the chicken season, to be completely honest with you there, Schwatter. And I got half a chicken stuck in the back of my throat. The Dogs got the job done by 34 points, Schwatter. You need to just straighten things up or it'll start talking. Two-man, now the percentage comes into this in a major way, so just explain, please.
Here we go. It's critical. The magic number for Richmond is 63 points or more. So what that means is if they win by that particular margin, they'll finish second on the ladder and they'll play Brisbane, who will finish third, but essentially a home final here at the MCG for the Tigers.
So what's the margin for Tigers fans?
63 points plus.
All right, Wayne Carey, Rodney Eade at this stage, 63 doesn't look that far away.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because, and the difference, I reckon the AFL, them taking nothing away from Brisbane, would probably prefer that, given the size of the crowd that they'd get here for that, Howie. But that's just a dominating first quarter from the Tigers. They were just absolutely brilliant. The lack of pressure that Brisbane weren't able to put on the Tigers through the middle of the ground, that's the key to the game.
Yep.
When you've got Martin and these guys running through their rocket, I mean, your eyes light up, as I said, forward. I'd 100% make the move. I'd get Adams off Rewalt. He's not quick enough. He doesn't have the agility to go with him, so they've got to make a move. Or if they don't, Adams has got to approach it differently, Rocket.
Yep. I think he's slow, Adams, and Rewalt's a very smart player. I believe he's got to start in front 10 or 15 metres. Now, if he gets it over the back, he's going to get it anyway. So at least he's a chance to cut off the passes. He's got to force the kicker to kick it high. Then hopefully there's support from close who can come third man up. And Adams has got some courage. He'll back. But if he starts back shoulder with him, Rewalt's so clever and quick on the lead, and Adams can't stop him.
Well, Chris Fagan's got confidence in him, Rocket and Duck, because Adams has gone straight to jumping jack at the top of the punt road goal square.
Rewalt could win the Coleman today.
And what they've done now with Lynch is Lynch is going to play higher now.
Yep.
Just going to expose him back in the goal square.
And they've got Martin inside 50. Gardner's got him. So the second term's about to get underway. A 25-point lead to Richmond for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy.
How many does he need to, man? Rewalt.
52. Ball goes forward. Zorko charges to half forward. Gets to the edge of the square. Pumping ball. McInerney. Hand out. Couldn't take the mark. Bouncing ball. Jaden Short will mop it up. Oh, it's intercepted. Without gathering from mad Mitch Robinson, ball goes out of bounds and Lavitt tossed in right half forward flank, 48 around from which Brisbane's goal.
Spot on, Doug. 52 majors he needs.
That's me, Ash.
Jeremy Cameron will be nervous. Spot on.
It's a big afternoon in anyone's book. Even Fred Fanning's eyes are starting to roll when you're talking 52. So the Lions, can they make a bit of impact early? Charlie Cameron's been quiet. He's caught and tackled by Presti. What are Chuckles' numbers on the Red Z sheet?
Yeah, he's had 7 touches.
Okay, Red Z lending loan specialist for the self-employed. They go inside 50 for a rare opportunity, and Ecker takes the mark. Probably about 48 out directly in front. And come September, this young man needs to kick these goals.
Is he a set shot? I've got a feeling that he's not a great set shot.
58% is his set shot conversion.
It's the AFL average, Chulenko.
Yeah, 61, Howie.
Okay, so he's there or thereabouts. Yep. No, he is a big forward, so he's expected to kick these. The number 30 from 52 metres hits the mark now. It's a good-looking drop punt.
Nice kick.
It's a beautiful kick. Well done, Eric. And that's a nice start for the Brisbane Lions. They haven't won all these games for no reason. They're 3-1, and Richmond is 6-2, back to 19 points on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, they are proudly independent.
Well, they get that goal from a poor kick. Tigers tried to go back through the corridor.
Yeah, that was pressed, yeah.
Yeah, and if the kick was on, the Tigers were out.
Yeah.
They were gone. But poor kick, and Hipper gets on the end of it. He is a confidence player, big Hipwood, so he can kick goals in quick succession.
Yeah. And I think the turnout was, it was a poor kick, but I think young Cedric Cox read that really well. He reacted quickly, followed up, won the ball, and was very calm and be able to chip a 20-metre pass to Eric Hipwood.
Ed Carey, Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super offering members insurance, cover that protects building and construction workers.
The only Cedric ever to play AFL, VFL, Jimmy?
Good question. Come back to you shortly.
For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy. They'll get the mark. McCluggage, what he had in the opening term, plus a little bit in this term, mate.
7 disposals in a major, and he's up to disposal number 9.
All thanks to
Red Z lending.
Nicely done, Two-Man. So McCluggage to half forward. 3 Lions go up. 2 Tigers stay down, and away they go. Baker got a man out. Bullets the ball to Lynch.
Lynch in space on the outer flank. Loops a hand pass. Nicely done. Further on. Now the ball comes in. Hits Revolt again. Adams again, 1.5 metres behind. I think it was off the boot of Jackie Graham. And Jack Revolt will line up for his 5th from about 32 metres, 1 metre inside the boundary.
Well, as soon as Lynch got that ball, you looked up, I saw where Adams had positioned himself.
He was in front, Duck.
Yeah, and I saw where Revolt was.
But he was in front corridor side, so still left a lot of space from the goals to where Adams was, and Revolt just went straight through it.
He's going to play on and try and hook it round on the left. Jack Revolt. Adams breathes a small sigh of relief as it's only a behind. Richmond is 6-3. The Lions are 3-1 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor proudly independent.
Don't know why he didn't kick a drop punt. He's a really good kick for goal.
He lined up to do it first, Rocket, then changed his mind.
Hodge goes short. They lead by 20, Richmond. Goes to Rich. He can thump it a long way with that left leg, and he does to the outer wing. There's a good mark taken by McStay. Funnels the handball out wide. Bailey heads down the line. Cameron. Grimes. Neil Baum spoke very highly of Grimes along with Asprey in the absence of Alex Rance this year, and he spoiled it beautifully on that occasion.
Well, his speed's what it gets him to those contests. Other players can't get to that. He's a lock all Australian, Grimes.
He's just so good. Ball just bobbling around on the outer wing. Now the Lions get a chance to access it. They drive a high ball inside 50, but just running back easily in the end with a flight is Liam Baker.
Has he been all Australian yet, Grimes?
Dylan Grimes, I think all Australian nomination last year. Nominee.
The nominee's a load of crap.
It's a touch and feel good thing, isn't it?
Did you ever get nominated and not make the team, Duck?
No, Howard.
Okay, sorry. Silly question.
Was that a no Howard or a no Howard?
No, it was a Howie. Seven-time All-Australian. Okay.
Injured for the other year.
Ball is thrown in. Zorko's tackled well. And so is Prestia by Martin and Zorko. Not going anywhere is Prestia. Little meatball. 6-3-39, 3-1-19. Richmond lead, 5 gone, second term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
How many All-Australians did you snag, Schwatter?
Just the one. Can you believe that?
Oh, it's hard to believe. Rocket, All-Australians within 4
don't
premierships?
up for me.
4 premierships, though. That's probably a fair return. There is Cedric Cox. There must have been some Cedrics playing in the sort of 1890s, I would have thought, too. Now comes out with an opportunity to the Lions. Quick snap towards goal. He's off target. And that was off the boot of McCluggage. In the end, it's out on the full.
Been a better start, though, in this quarter by the Lions.
Cedric, Stu?
Yeah, there's actually a Cedric McLeod, actually, Duck and Howie. He played 2 games for the Tigers back in 1923. He was actually born in the 1800s, 1899 to be precise.
Same year Rocket debuted. Bouncing ball, that is Robinson. Couldn't take the mark. Going to miss you next year, Rocket, but I'll tune in. Ball towards the broadcast wing. Cotchin got rid of his man, but Hodges is there to mop up. Got a few lines to pick from. And that is Neil, got it to Adams. He's had his hands full, back to Hodge.
And think about when he debuted, he was a mature age recruit as well.
33.
Had a beard.
The Lions with a high ball inside 50 again. It's Baker. Now you've got that on Cedric, Chu. Now I want you to tell me how many blokes have played AFL football with 3 G's in their surname like McCluggage. That's a rarity. Soldo marks on the outer flank in front of Stephen Martin. And Gainey looking operator. Goes short, very short to Vlostone, just the required. And Nick's got it defensive point of the square on the outer side with his team leading by 20 points.
Thought about coming through the square and then goes very short over the top. The mark taken by Martin.
Dustin Martin for Red said 5 disposals and a
Paul
goal.
guarding in the mark, so Dusty can go inside 50. No mark taken. Castagna doesn't like the set shot. Didn't mind the snapshot, and Tommy Lynch bobbled the mark, hit the post through for a behind. Couldn't let it go, Big Tommy. 6-4-40, 3-1-19, 21-point lead. Tigers way, Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
Yeah, and in the end, he was worried about hitting the post, Swatter.
Yep.
That's exactly what he did after he dropped the mark. Eric kicked the opening goal of the term. And it was the Tigers by 25. At quarter time, it's back to 21. Jack Revolt's kicked 4. Had a shot for his 5th this term, but wasn't able to hit it cleanly. Steph Martin. Hooking ball down towards a contest on the outer flank. Tigers have got the numbers. Now ground level. Edwards. Further run from Castagna. Looping ball to Rioli. Here's danger again.
Baker wants an option. Got it in the form of short through the corridor. He'll pump it long. Castagna's on his bike. Hits the accelerator. Intelligent tap over the top to Tommy Lynch. But it bounced away for him through for another behind. Boy, when they get some room to move it through the corridor, are they dangerous? 19-41. Tigers way, 7, almost 8 gone, second term.
Autobahn round the grounds, Amy Park 2.
Full time, Storm defeated the Titans 24-8, Howie.
Okay, just find out exactly where the Storm will be positioned. Chewy, if you could. As the ball slides around to the outer wing. Baker makes a good contest, as does Vlostone. Does an even better job. Dishes it by hand. They're going to come again here, the Tigers, with a ball. Free kick. And it's the way of the Lions. Should we try the umpire? Was pointing for a moment there. And it goes the way of Harris Andrews.
So we have a look on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Was it there, boys?
Oh, he had a handful of his jumper chest area and then pushed off, Swatter.
So McCluggage again. No, it's Bailey. Heads towards the outer half-back flank. Brisbane have got to start getting themselves into this game. Ball goes out of bounds. What's the pressure rating in this one for both teams, Ash?
Pressure rating, Swatter. Richmond 175, Brisbane at 180, but their season average is 189, so they're down. Just Howie, the Storm, they're on top of the table for Autobahn.
Yes, that's sort of why I asked you that one, Chew. A very, very good team. Steph Martin hacks it off the ground towards Bailey. Can't pick it up clearly. Prestia can. Dribbles the ball forward. Is it deliberate? It is, from the roars of the crowd. So Brisbane will bring it back in on the back flank. They trail by 41-19. Right now you can grab a small cheeseburger meal with your choice of pie for just $4 only, man.
Lockie Neal, how many?
Lockie Neal, 16 touches.
What would you like to see the scoreboard within a couple of goals at half-time for Brisbane Rocket?
Yeah, certainly, but the way they're playing static, stationary footy down the line. There's no chance of scoring doing this.
Rewald. That's better from Adams. Good body check in the spoil. Ball goes out of bounds. Punt road end throwing. 30 around from Richmond's goal. Just the one goal in this term. Eric Hitwood, the goal scorer. And right now it's a 22-point lead to the Tigers. 10 gone, second term.
Sunshine on the outer pocket. The Lions extract it. Wobbled ball towards Vlostone. How many marks has he taken, Chew?
He's taken 4 marks, Howie. Intercept marks, 4.
Unbelievable. Basher Hawley, long left foot ball to land 20 from home. Where's Revolt? She got 2 hands to it as well. And then he couldn't take the mark. Rioli tried to get the crumbs. Couldn't clear it. The umpire tossed it up with the Tigers deep in attack. Rocket?
I think when you don't play a handball game, that situation when Zorko just kicked it, he should have been able to chain the ball with handballs, be able to run the ball, but they're playing very static footy at the moment.
So a risky handball from Adams. Robinson comes in, flicks the handball back to Adams. Good smother by Prestia. There have been about 3 of those this afternoon for Richmond. And the ball goes out of bounds deep inside the Tigers' forward 50. Next to the left behind post, 41-19 Richmond's way. They press again with 11 gone, second term.
Earlier on today, Chewy.
It was the Bulldogs, Howie, by 34 points over the Crows and Storm 24-8 over the Titans.
So the Bulldogs will finish 7th on the ladder, Chewy.
Yeah, spot on, playing GWS in the finals.
Potentially on a Saturday, although things could change if the result of this game goes unexpectedly, or if Richmond win by how many points, Chew?
63 is the magic number.
It pushes them up the ladder further, the Tigers. Now Grimes, what a player this man is. Sprints through the middle of the ground. Misses Dusty with a hand pass. Nicely cut off coming the other way through McCluggage. He'll have to hold and wait a little bit. Hasn't got too much forward of the ball. Now there's an option. It's short and it's cut off. The Tigers will come again.
Robinson flicked the handball. It landed back in his hands. Coming away with it, Graham. Tigers unrelenting. Chipping ball from Asprey. Got a man out. It's the captain, Cochin. Wants to flick it over the top, and he's got Prestia.
He's got Lambert further on. Now Hall is going to have a hit. He was going to have a shot. He went for a little underground hand pass in the end. Quick snap towards goal for the Tigers from Prestia. Bit fat. One behind. Richmond 42, Lions 19. Bob Jane T-Marts hurry and buy 3, get 1 free on selected Bridgestone, Dunlop and Hancock tyres. Robbo.
Howie, Charlie Cameron coming back on the ground. Now, he's had a massive discussion with Fagan. He's had one possession for the game. He's come up with high publicity over his last fortnight. Let's see how he reacts.
Adams takes the mark. Left half back flank.
Have a look at this kick swatter. He'll just go down the line.
Yep.
They don't want to change direction. They don't want to do things quickly.
The only positive for Brisbane, Richmond haven't scored a goal in the term after they polled on 6-2 in the opening quarter. Zorko, here's a chance on the outer wing. Darts away. He'll pump the ball inside 50. McCarthy did it last week. Can't do it right now. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have it tossed in 45 around from Brisbane's goal.
Triple M Red Z lending stats. Game time for the Richmond skipper Trent Cotchin. Chewy coming off that hamstring. Neil Baum says it was a bit of a risk playing him today, but they didn't have too many other options. How much time's he spent out in the ground?
Yeah, percentage-wise, Howie, 64%.
64%. Is that lower than he'd normally be operating at, Chewy? It sounds a pretty skinny number.
The early 80s.
Okay. Zorko picks it up, drops it right to the top of the square. McStay trying to fly from behind. Keep an eye on that, Chew, as to whether they keep him a little bit under the game time.
I think from a coaching point of view, I know internally, you probably look at about 70. That's probably what they'd look at him. Normally be 85, I would have thought, for a midfielder.
Vlosten, short, Hooley, overcooked it. Robinson steps up to the plate and kicks a clutch goal. Brisbane needed that. Robinson delivered back-to-back goals. And they're back within 16 points. 4-2-26, 6-6-42, 13 and a half gone. Second term, Triple M IJ Liga scoreboard. Next centre bounce is critical for Brisbane.
Yeah, just look, Richmond have had plenty of opportunities in this quarter. They just haven't used the ball as well going inside. I've been watching Rewalt and Adams. He's been out actually a number of times and they just haven't used him. They've missed those goals. And well, Brisbane, they're a good footy team, Swatter. I don't think they're playing their best footy today that I've seen them play, but they're hanging in there.
And that's a positive. And we've spoken about they win games different ways, where they're playing ugly today. But within 14 points, Swatter, you talk or 16 points, you talk about half time. If they're within 3 goals, it gives them certainly gives them confidence.
Luke Hodge chatting with Chris Fagan on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Good, better Bosch, professional power tools, measuring tools and accessories. Had so much success, those two at the Hawks. Fags got him up to Brisbane. Gee, it's been a good investment too. Coming the other way hard from the Lions was Noah Answorth. But Richmond get the centre clear. It's Revo with a massive fly from behind. Oh, it was a big jump. Adams gets a hurried kick out of defence and it's spoiled. Right down to where Robbo's sitting, right on the interchange bench. Here's Rodney Eade.
Looks like Gardner has gone to Rewalt, so they've made that change now. Adams has come up, he's picking up Cochin.
So he conceded 4 goals to Jack in the opening term, did Marcus Adams. Brisbane have kicked the only 2 goals of the term, trailed by 16. Martin through heavy traffic. No one could lay a finger on him. Edwards always evasive. Got it to Lambert. Flicks it off to Castagna. Corridor opens. What's he do? He goes short to Tommy Lynch. Fumbles the mark. Almost called to play on. He's not sure what to do here. Gives a handball out wide to Short.
Jaden Short, who's a big kick of the footy for a small individual, goes all the way to the pocket.
Terrible kick from Short. He had players leading for him, Swatter, and he just bombed it. Had no thought whatsoever in that kick, other than try and kick it as far as he could.
I think Lynch panicked there because I think the Brisbane bloke touched it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I wasn't sure whether he was going to be paid the mark. So Rich took the mark from the Richmond inside 50, comes out towards McStay. Another intercept mark for the number 1 of Lostone.
Oh, that's intercept mark number 5.
Squirts the kick to Baker. Goes short. Martin.
Dusty Martin, he's had 9 touches and a goal.
Southern wing. Bullets the ball to Cochin. Body spoiled by Marcus Adams. Not having a good day, is Marcus.
I think they've made the move, Swatter.
Yeah, we said that.
Yeah, you did say that. Sorry, Rocket.
I know you're on your phone. That's all right, mate.
Inside 50 ball. Another mark inside 50 for the Tigers. This time it is Castagna, who will line up from about 30, not a great deal of angle, to kick Richmond's 7th. Marks inside 50, Chulenko.
Yeah, 8-4 Richmond's way, and inside 50's a dead even, 21 apiece.
You're right, Rocket. I was looking up a very important stat, in actual fact.
What was that stat?
Grimes leads the club for intercept marks.
Castagna hooks it round the corner, kicks the goal. He kicks his first. Richmond have got 7, and that's their first goal of the term. Brisbane have kicked 2. It was a 25-point lead at quarter time for Richmond. It is now back at 22 points on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard, and we're 17 minutes into the second term.
And talking about that match-up on Charlie Cameron, Rocket, with Grimes, that is, who's playing on Charlie Cameron, who's had an unbelievable good year. He's only conceded 22 goals this year, has Grimes. Yeah. So had a fantastic... He always play on one of the most dangerous forwards, so he's been incredible.
Triple M Footy Instagram, the story of the duck pose at the start of the game will bring the earth-shattering results at half-time. Who would win a fight between a tiger and a lion?
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. The King and Rodney Eads. Seabus Super offering members insurance that covers that protects building and construction workers. Neil wraps around the 1-2 with Martin for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks Footy. Cedric Cox takes the mark. I like his first name. Just forward to the broadcast wing. Would have thought so, but they put that one away, boys. Chipping ball to Hipwood. 55 from home.
Move it quick.
The hip does that now.
They take their time and play skinny, don't they?
Goes towards Cameron. He's just wrestled out of it by Broad, and it goes across the line. About 30 round from the Brisbane's goal. They trail it 4-2 to 7-6 by 22 points. Earlier on today, Chewy.
It was the Western Bulldogs by 34 points over the Crows.
And a game still to come.
And the game is between Port Adelaide taking on Freo. Adelaide Oval, 4:40 start.
7:50 to go. Here's a chance. McCarthy got it off the Lockie Neal centering ball. Who's there? Basher Hawley in the hole. Been a wonderful player since crossing from the Bombers.
We are going to that Port Adelaide versus Freo game directly after we finish here. The MCG. Lions, can they get a repeat inside 50? Steph Martin does well to keep it in. Nice little chain of hand pass. Might come unstuck there now with Castagna. He goes over the top, hits Dusty in the head. Koch says, don't worry, mate, I'll give you a hand. Puts out a hand pass into space. Here goes Dusty with a bounce.
Could have had another. Flick the handball to the feet of Castagna. It was a poor handball. Adams just burrowed through with his head. Graham's there to mop up. Off the side of the boot. You know it's going your way when it's marked by your teammate. Goes to Soldo. Got a man out. Caddy. He can take a step and go back. 49 out. Has he got the distance up?
Yeah, he's gonna back himself.
Chipping ball over the top. He's got a man drifting free. Is that Lambert? It is. And I thought it might have been 50. Lambert takes the mark. Half forward, 45 out. 5 metres in from the boundary line. Punt road in. Tigers have kicked just the 1 goal in this quarter. Biggest lead of the match, man.
Biggest lead for Reds Ed. Swatter, 25 points of the Tigers.
So Castagna, Little George, it's Lambert in fact, can go back and extend the margin back out to a 28-point lead. Punt road in. Tiger faithful wait. Kick on its way. Goal. They've restored order here, Richmond. Kicked the last 2 goals of the game. Lambert gets his first. And on the Triple M IGA Liga scoreboard, Richmond 8-6-54 lead the Lions 4-2-26.
And it all starts with Basher Hurley in his defensive part of the ground. He's a brilliant player, isn't he, Basher Hurley?
Number 1 ranked player for Richmond in terms of accumulation of ranking points, averaging career high touches, Duck at 28 per game.
I think their defence, obviously, Rance has been their linchpin before, but we've spoken about Grimes and, lesser degree, Asprey. But I think the other one too is Vlosten. I mean, his ability to intercept mark and ability to beat an opponent and read the play. They're accused about coming off their opponent at the right time, and they're accused about being able to intercept and then generate some drive. They really do set up.
And Baker's fitted in well down there as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, him and Short are other good smalls.
McDonald's Triple M rocks footy. Chew, when you get a moment, just give us a summation on what this result could mean, and if the margin blows out, when we get a stop in play, the Lions barrel the ball forward. It's easily marked by Broad. So where are we at the moment, Chew? If this game and result stays the same?
Okay, Richmond will secure the double chance, sit 3rd on the ladder. They'll play Brisbane away up at the Gabba.
If the margin blows out to how much?
63 points or plus. Richmond will play Brisbane, but it'll be a home final here for the Tigers at the MCG, 2nd versus 3rd.
Right, so that'd have the Richmond moving up to 2nd. What was the number? Sorry?
63 points.
63 points. Thank you, Chewy.
So surely someone in the box, like Damien Hardwood, would he know that, Rocket?
Someone would be, yeah.
They would have to know that if they now win by 63 points, they get a home final here.
Yeah, he would know that, but they wouldn't be a focus of telling the players till right to the end.
You don't think? You wouldn't tell them at half.
Come back to you, Duck. Bolton takes the mark, hits the ground, charges through, gang tackle. They got him, and it was Hodge who got him well. Neil takes the ball, though. Zorko's out back.
The Lions progress the ball up the wing. McCluggage sends the ball forward. Gee, it was a pretty aggressive spoil in the end. The umpire says no, it was okay from Dylan Grimes. So the umpire will reset things with the Brisbane Lions in attack on the outer flank, but they trail at 54-26.
I think the trouble with that, talking that too early, Duck, is that players then can get away from the basics and the way they play and try and score more goals.
McCluggage stepped out of trouble, heads towards Hipwood. Good mark. Got a goal. This is a big kick in the context of the game right now. Almost 23 gone, 2nd term. They trail by 28 points. Hipwood's got 1.
Well, when he puts his hands up, Big Hipper, hard to spoil. He's 204 centimetres. Swatter.
Yep.
Right on the mark.
So he's
Right on it.
46 metres out from goal.
He hit the last one beautiful, didn't he? Split the middle, so should be confident.
Just needs to go back and nail the goal to drag it back to a 22-point deficit from 49. Careful. It's working, but it doesn't go through. And it's off their hands for a behind. 27-54, 23 and a half gone. 2nd term. Triple M IGA Liga scoreboard. Tigers lead.
Lights on at the MCG. Crowd have still come to. This is a big number now.
Yeah, I reckon we've hit 70,000, Howie. Massive.
Okay. Clever little tap by Bolton. Didn't quite pay off to his teammate's advantage. Neil mops up to Lyons. Back to Neil. Inside out, check side, inside 50. Not easy to say, not easy to do. And McInerney takes a good mark. So he's 50 from home, Big Oscar. We've seen him kick 1 goal. This would be quite something. You'd have to kick this from 52 and cross the boundary line to do it. You'd imagine he's going to the hot spot. He might have other ideas, though, the Big Oscar. No, he does. It's a clever kick. It'll land right in the teeth of goal. Hipwood was there, threw a boot at it, didn't make contact. Edwards, Broad, immediately dispossessed as he tried to clear the footy. Just to get it out of there, Broad. I reckon they're waiting on him, they are. So it's a free kick to Rayner. Just see the umpire holding and waiting for that decision, Rocket. We'll have a look at it on the Triple M Bosch Tours replay.
Should have been holding the ball before that.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Duck. So here's an opportunity for Cam Rayner. Solid-looking unit. What is he, 180 centimetres, 90 kilos. Out of Hillside, the 19-year-old. 18 goals, 22 this year. He'll run towards the centre of the ground, then hook it round the corner. Hasn't quite got enough bend on it. And it just sneaks through for 1 behind. So the Lions are 4-4, 28. Richmond are 8-6, 54. And we're just approaching half-time at the MCG, and that's all on the Triple M IGA Liquor Scoreboard.
Asprey, back pocket, City end, northern side. Bulldogs by.
Bulldogs by 34 points over the Crows.
Final game.
Final game. Port Adelaide taking on Freo. Adelaide Oval, 4:40 start.
Gardner, that's deliberate every day of the week. All he wanted to do was spoil the ball out of bounds. He got that, and the umpire said no.
Now, the umpire said a marking contest, but it wasn't because the spoil had already happened, Slotter.
Yeah, that was
the
deliberate.
second possession.
So we'll have it thrown in right half forward flank. Brisbane attack the City end.
Bit of a shallow entry of the ball from the umpire. Tigers run it through the middle of the G. Good tackle coming the other way. And that was by Hodge, and he wants to go on with it, Luke Hodge.
Pick it up, don't give away, free.
Yeah, he's saying that directly to Mitch Robinson.
Oh, Mitchie's in there.
He likes a bit of that old frantic pants Robinson.
That's a good tackle from Hodge, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Just trying to give his side a bit of physical presence, Duck.
Triple M Bosch Stores replay. Martin got it down to Lockie Neal. Edwards on top of him. Pressure over the top. We'll do it again. Lockie Neal's numbers, please, Ash.
For Red Z Lending, he's up to 25 disposals.
What?
What? 8
25
clearances. Yeah,
in a half.
in a half.
You sure about that?
I'll double check again.
25 touches.
I must have noticed him as much.
No.
Either.
Hasn't been a dominant 25.
His metres gained is 152 only.
Mitch Robinson pulls the trigger on a deep ball. Nice grab coming out. And that is Rayner. He said he's got a solid quad on him, this man.
That's a good, solid mark there. Looking at the
is.
Bosch Tools replay.
Fills out his shorts, doesn't he, Ducky? Cam Rayner.
He's,
Grab.
he's had a bit of a indifferent year,
Okay.
you would describe, wouldn't you, Chummy?
Yeah, he's down 4 disposals per game and a couple of goals down in comparison this time last year.
He'll have to kick this from 50 on a 45-degree angle. It'll take something pretty special, but he is a special talent. Hooks it immediately. He won't make the distance. Marking contest. McInerney. Steph Martin applies a tackle. The umpire will separate him. Right on the edge of the goal square. Richmond deep in defence, leading at 54-28. And we've got 54 seconds on the clock.
Can they scrounge a goal before half-time? Brisbane, it's the right end. Hawley's there to mop up, shovels the handball to Prestia, hugs it down along the boundary line, bounces into the waiting hands of Short, and he just bangs it out wide towards Cochin.
Important contest, this one. Gets completely away from Adams, who's having a real tough day. Revolt kicked 4 on him before he was moved off him. Rioli taking on Rich, takes a second bounce down. Rioli slows down.
Brisbane kick back there.
There was a block, was there? A Shepherd?
Yeah, good
Lead
contribution.
Support the Rioli run, was it?
I'd like to see that in the replay. I think he knocked Andrews over.
Hold there. Thank you.
So the mark is taken by Hodge. 25 seconds to go, the opening half. 28-54, Richmond's way.
Abuse.
And that's Fitty.
Abuse.
Stay out. Josh, go with it.
So Hodgie will get marched up towards the middle of the ground.
15 seconds, Swatter. The clock stopped.
Got to move it. Got a man out wide. Robinson, edge of the square. An important kick. He waits, and now he delivers to Andrews.
13 seconds on the clock. Harris goes deep towards the pocket. Brisbane need to take a mark. Oh, gee, that's a good mark, Grimes. How good's this bloke, Duck? Dylan Grimes.
Number 1 intercept marker for the Tigers.
Now, it's a big half of footy. It was Richmond leading by 25 at quarter time. Half time, 8-6-54 to the Lions, 4-4-28. So it's gone up by a point. It's a 26-point margin at half time. Earlier on today, the Dogs wrapped up a finals position with a 34-point win over Adelaide. The Hawks are done for the season. One game to come. We'll go to that as well. That is Port Adelaide versus Freo. Doesn't affect anything. McDonald's, Triple M, Rocks Footy. Half time here at the mighty MCG. It was Richmond by 25 at quarter time. They extended it by a point to 26 at half time over the Lions. 8-6-54 to 4-4-28. Jack Revolt kicked 4 in the first term, if you don't mind. McCluggage, McInerney, Hipwood and Robinson, the goal scorers for the Brisbane Lions. Reams, Australia's favourite water heating, solar continuous flow and storage hot water. They are built Aussie tough for Aussie families with a massive range, including a 6-star, nice, energy-efficient models. Ream is the latest winner of the CanStar Blue Most Satisfied Customer Award for hot water. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. Earlier on today, it was the Dogs. Always in front against Adelaide, 34-point winners, so they'll finish 7th and play the GWS Giants in a final, and they are in good form. The Western Bulldogs. Duck, you asked us pre-game the big question: who would win a fight between a tiger and a lion? Over 1,000 votes on at Triple M Footy's Insta page on the little live section. 49% Tigers, 51% Lions at the moment. Is that the way you expected it to play out?
Yeah, I've heard that like the tiger is bigger.
Yes.
But I've heard that lions are naturally more aggressive in a fight.
You've heard that, have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know there's such thing as a liger. They've bred tigers and lions. Yeah, they have done that, which I don't, think it's a bit weird. But
it is a bit weird. The liger.
But obviously the lion with the mane is a big thing for a male lion, because when they get the animals attack the neck, that's where they go for the kill.
Yes.
And if you've got that big mane, that would protect them from the tiger's bite.
Right. So you're going the lion.
So I'm saying the lion, and they are the king of the jungle.
I need to see a photo of a liger. I didn't know they'd combined the two.
Yeah, they have.
All right, that's what you get on Triple M Footy.
And tigers actually love water. Lions don't.
Right. So if it was a water fight,
they can swim.
If there's a water fight, you're now backing the tiger.
Well, if they were fighting in the water, I'd go the tiger.
Why are you leaving this job, Schwatter? Why are you retiring?
I don't really think I have to answer that.
Come on, this is good fun.
It is. Duck, who wins? Any chance of the Lions to get back in this one?
They're a chance, but I don't think they're playing well enough at this point in time. And this Richmond team, Howie, I thought they had some opportunities in that second quarter. They didn't make the most of them. So they could be further in front, I think, the Tigers.
All right, on Super Schwatter Sunday, the great man's got a half a footy still to go. Take it away, Wayne boy.
Autobahn around the grounds, please, Jim.
We're underway. Port Adelaide, 6 points. Freo also 6 early into the first quarter.
Robbo.
With Cochin, with regards to Cochin, 74% he's had. Don't forget, hasn't played since round 19 with that hamstring. Let's see how he goes with his second half.
Well done, Robbo. Bob Jane T-Marts. 26-point lead Richmond's way. Third term is underway. Edwards got the tap from Bolter. Handball from McCarthy, who starts in the centre square. Flicked it out wide. Got it over to McCluggage. Carefully. Got it to Cedric. It was Berry the kick came from. Cedric Cox has got it. Can they get the opening goal? Punt road end. High ball up. Hipwood will come. Oh, Rayner almost brought it down. Charlie Cameron rarely sighted in the opening half. He's getting tackled by a couple. We'll have it thrown up.
I don't know if you're Googling what I am, but ligers are very big animals, Ducky.
They're massive, aren't they?
They are. Real big things with low-hanging guts.
No, when I'm on this, Howie, I'm looking up something stats-wise.
Oh, that's what you're calling them these days. McDonald's.
He's got out of jail there.
Wow, interesting stat. Bashahuli works hard in defence. Can't clear it. And the ball's not going anywhere. Two-man, is there any players that have played for Richmond and Brisbane?
Any players? I should know that. Let me double check for you.
Okay, because that would make them a liger.
Very good.
Maybe you can come up with that. There must be a couple along the way anyway. Rains, he was a liger.
He was a very good player too, Jeffrey. Played for a few clubs. Ball is thrown in. Brisbane's forward 50. Bailey spins and then gives a handball back to Zorko. Can the captain kick a cracker? What a goal! Perfect start by Brisbane. And the skipper leads the way. 5-4-34 to 8-6-54. 1.5 gone third term. Triple M Ream scoreboard.
That was a great goal by Zorko. That's a captain lifting goal, wasn't it? And they needed that. The other player too is Craig Lambert.
Oh, he's a liger.
Yeah.
He was too. There you go. Getting slightly off track here, but we're doing our best. Hey, the Lions are back within 20 points on the Triple M Ream scoreboard. Built tough Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating. Install the Ream directly after this game locally. And depending where you are around Australia on relay, we will go to Fremantle versus Port Adelaide.
Rory Hilton,
another liger. Nice work, Rocket. For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks Footy. Right now you can grab a small cheeseburger meal with your choice of pie for just $4.
A little loose, Rory.
Only at Macca's. Was he? The hotel. Oh, Dusty extracts it from the middle like he did to start the game. Long ball to land 20 from home. Here comes Revolt. Oh, standing in the hole is Adams. And a rare good moment on what's been a tough day for him. Revolt kicked 4 on him in the first term. And that's a good hit from Rich. Gets the ecker on the defensive side of the wing member side.
This is a better start. It's early. Linking up a bit better here, Brisbane. Hipwood just held it on. Now goes towards half forward. McStay in front of Vlauston. This man marks everything.
He does.
Absolutely marks the lot.
Well, they just read the flight of the ball better, don't they?
How many intercepts marks he had, Red Z style, Chewy?
6 intercept marks for Flostone.
Oh, Big Lynchy. Hasn't really imprinted much on the game so far, but takes a good mark on the wing. Short to Martin. Only just the required distance. Dusty's got it. He's called to go. Delayed the hand pass rather cleverly in the end. Gets it to Baker. He hacks the ball inside 50. Two Brisbane Lions spoil each other. He might be good enough to get out of it. They are. McCluggage, good player. Chewy, what are his numbers?
15 touches and a major.
He's been good. McCarthy now will extract it from the back flank.
Goes with a darting ball to Charlie Cameron. So he takes the mark at half back on the outer side. And we're just happy to slow it down. He waits and watches for Hodge on the edge of the square. The Hawk champ, now a Brisbane Lions player and an important one. Squares it to Gardner and they've got it to Rich. Can go to Eric.
He's got a bit of space in front of him here. Hipwood. He's got two options deep. Schwatter wants him to go that way. He does now. Wobbles the ball. Might be fortunate. Zorko's got two to start the second half. Here come Brisbane. Richmond 8-6-54. The Lions 6-4-40. Back to 14 points. On the Triple M Ream scoreboard, built tough for Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating. Install a Ream. Nice.
They've certainly made some adjustments at half-time, Swatter. We spoke about down the line there. Yep. Hodges lateralised the ball. Eventually handball then to Rich. He's on to Hipwood out into space on the fat side of the ground. Hipwood's mongrelled the ball forward. Like he had Zorko by himself in the goal square. Nearly bounced 3 times by the time he got to Zorko, but a nice snap again. But you can see their intent has changed from the first half. Intent was a bit like conservative. We don't want to have a goal scored against. Now they're taking the game on a bit, which they've been forced into, but they look dangerous.
And we know that they're a kicking team. We spoke to Chris Fagan about that. And what have they done in this quarter, Two-Man?
Yeah, Red Z lending. They've had 12 kicks to 5 handballs, 100% to date. Daniel Ritchie's going at 91.
Back-to-back goals for Brisbane within 14. The pressure goes up again. They got Dusty. McInerney tried to flick a handball out, tried to get it to McCluggage, missed the target. Here's Martin, charges to the edge of the square. This had hurt. Wobbly ball, pocket. Rewood's got it. So dangerous, Martin.
Missed kick that well.
Yep.
Was, but
landed in the waiting hands of Jumping Jack, who's got 4, came in the opening term. And this had hurt Brisbane after they've kicked the opening 2 inside the opening 5.5 minute mark, minutes of the third term.
Lockie Neal's down, had a little hit into the stomach.
So Rewalt to the city end, opens up the angle, carefully kicks the ball around the corner and missed the lot.
Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marts. You played for most teams in the competition. Were you a Liger?
I was a very aggressive, bloody good Liger, actually, Howie.
Yes, he was too.
Okay, how many games did you play for the Lions, Robbo?
I had 2 at the Lions.
Righto, and the Tigers?
About 16.
Okay.
I'm sure I'd put him in the aggressive basket, huh?
He is a very attractive Liger.
Oh, he was a great hand model on Sale of the Century too.
Still is an attractive man who's one of the first Ligers to undergo liposuction and all sorts of type of stuff that we shouldn't go into.
Ball on the outer wing. Berry Robinson acrobatically socketed out of midair. Cameron engages with Grimes. Getting back Caddy. He'll mop up. He'll lay a handball off to Basher and he heads out wide to Rioli on the outer wing.
He's going to get over the top of Danny. His skipper's trying to shepherd for him. McCluggage came in and extracted the footy. Now Cochin goes off the ground in a hurry. Coming back is Adams. Jeez, he overruns it. Soldo now comes in and wrestles. 2 big men. Adams wins that battle of strength. Hodge, clever hand pass over the top, back to McCluggage. He went for a little dinky kick and Caddy was awake and smothered it across the line. Right, Zorko's kicked 2 for the term, the only goals. It was 26 points to the good. The Tigers at half-time, back to 14 points. 7 into the third term.
Autobahn around the grounds. Port Adelaide 2-2-14, leading the Dockers 2 straight 12, halfway into the first.
Tigers by 14. Richmond free kick goes against Martin. And Soldo, animated, wants the ball back. High ball from Martin, deep inside 50. Adams comes across. Couldn't spoil it cleanly, comes to Hodge. Flicks the handball out wide. Brisbane here, away, Berry.
Off the back flank with a 40-metre ball. Dragged down after he got rid of the footy, did he?
Yep.
In fact, it was Andrews that might have got a bump off the footy. Second time it's happened to him.
No, that was the marking contest.
Yeah, you're
Friendly
right.
fire.
Well, his teammate got him, didn't he?
Hold, Josh.
On the Triple M Bosch Tools replay screen. Good, better Bosch. Professional power tools, measuring tools and accessories. Big fist away by Big Soldo across the line. He doesn't look that good at the moment, Andrews, but he's staying out there with the ball on the outer wing.
I think he landed on his back and knocked the oxygen out of him. Just slow to recover.
8 gone third term. Rodney Eade, Wayne Carey, Triple M C-Bus, Super Special Comments, Howie, Two-Man, Swatter and Robbo. Sunday afternoon call team. Oh, a big swinging boot. That was Witherden. Completely missed it. Almost took about 8 heads off. Cotchin tries to squeeze a handball. No good. Caddy mops up. Look at him out the back door here. Away go Richmond.
You got Lynch and Revolt forward. Which option they go for? Tommy Lynch. Rioli was front and centre, perfectly positioned, but a good defensive pressure effort by the Lions. And now there's a chance for them to reload on the outer wing.
Goes to McCluggage. Robinson was outstanding against Lynch. 2 nervous bounces by McCluggage. Got it to Charlie Cameron. What's he do? He dodges, he weaves, he flicks a handball out wide. Got a man waiting. It's Lockie Neal, had a stack of it. Goes inside 50. McCarthy, 2-on-1. Wedge between a couple. Loose ball. Berry slips through one. Can he get a handball out? No.
Tried to step through him.
Your kick.
Did Jared Berry. In the end,
Behind the mark.
he was squashed.
Yeah, you don't often get through 3 or 4 Tigers.
No, you don't.
Robinson was brilliant, and you called it, Swatter. Just to leave his opponent, get a spoil on a bigger opponent.
Edwards, it's a funny kick, a little chipping one. It's effective. Now Vlostone, he's playing some game, this man. Charges through the middle of the G with a little chipper. Missed Dusty, and Daniel Richards had a bit of it on the other end of the equation, Chewy.
He has 15 disposals, 92% by foot from his 12 kicks.
This is better from Brisbane. They trail by 14. Can they get another one? Get it within 10 points. It'll be 8. McCluggage, bounce, goes to Rayner. Big leap. Did he bring it down on the second attempt? No. He cleaned up McInerney. Oscar looks around and goes, what the bloody hell is happening there? Free kick Richmond.
He's in real trouble there, Oscar. Oh, he got a couple of blows in that marking contest. 107 kilos, Oscar McInerney. What's the heaviest you played up, Ducky boy?
98.
107, he's a big boy. They turned it over again, Richmond. Brisbane have got all the footy at the moment, Chew.
They have winning the time in the 4.5, 61%.
Nice little step on the outer side by Lyons. Can he hit a target? Again, they miss an opportunity. That was Eric. Oscar's still not well out there. But Brisbane with repeat inside 50s will have a ball up 38 from their goal. They've kicked the only 2 of the term through their skipper.
Who kicked that ball inside 50, Two-Man, for Brisbane then?
That was for Red Z Lions.
Too much heat on the ball. Did his forwards no favour. McCluggage kicked the opening goal of the opening quarter. What does he do? Centering ball. Can they get a mark? No. Hipwood feeds the handball to Charlie. Here's your moment. High ball off the side of his boot.
Won't be anywhere near the goals. Called to play on Richmond.
They're coming.
Give away behind.
I think Charlie had an option there. I think when you're playing badly and your job's to kick goals, you look at the goals only and needed to feed it off.
13-point lead, Tigers. Caddy heads out wide. Mark taken by Georgie Castagna. What's the biggest lead of the game, Chew, today?
Richmond, Swatter led by 28 points, 20 minutes into the second quarter.
Thank you very much. All thanks to Red Z lending. A high ball in front was Adams. Full of the ball, Martin. That was Stephen. Got boot to ball. Gardner had a crack but lost it. Here's Martin. Flicks it through.
They're going to come again here, the Tigers. It's 1-on-1 inside 50. Lynch, Andrews. Great tackle, Harris Andrews. Now Mitchie Robinson arrives on the scene. Hard to beat is Harris Andrews. Didn't let Lynch get goal side, and it'll be tossed up. 30 out from the Tigers attacking goal. 11:45 into the third term. They lead it by 13 points. 2 goals for the term, both the way the Lions.
Tigers attack the city end. Lynch, Robinson got him well. Good tackle. Hodges there stands. Feeds the handball to Harris Andrews. McCluggage has had a lot of it in this quarter, Ash.
He has 6 touches.
A clearing ball momentarily. Rayner with a big fly. Couldn't take the mark. And Basher Hawley is absolutely pulverised by Mitch Robinson.
He was
loves
it.
it. Absolutely loves it and gets up like he's just raided a bloody lolly store rocket.
He's had some big moments in this quarter, Robinson, hasn't he?
I don't reckon in their wildest dreams when they got him from the Blues they could have expected this, the Lions, from Mitch Robinson. He's become a wonderful player in the competition. He's aggressive, gets plenty of the footy. Different body shape than when he was at Carlton. He's so fit. Bit on the hand pass. Oh, McInerney. Clever tap. Here's a chance to Hipwood. wobbles the ball inside 50. It's got out the back. Charlie's going to get a goal. Cameron does. Grimes, a rare mistake. Charlie gets his first. The Lions have got 3 in a row. Stand by. This is a 7-point game. Richmond 8-6. The Lions 7-5. That's all on your Triple M Ream scoreboard. Built tough Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating and installer Ream.
I think the thing we spoke about last goal about the change of mode of transport of Brisbane, they've had 42 uncontested possessions to 13. They were minus 31 in that area in the first half, where they were just stagnant down the line. Now they're prepared to run and carry. Their pressure's lifted, but handball. That Grimes is doing a good job on Cameron, but he engages in a wrestle straight away, which works for him. That time it didn't. That Cameron was able to keep his feet, was able to get around him. But full credit to Brisbane at the moment. They're prepared to move the ball quickly. And it shows what they do. They'll scare teams if they're prepared to move the ball quickly.
Triple M Seabus Super special comment. Seabus Super offering members insurance cover that protects building construction workers. You got the King and the 4-time Rocket.
3 in a row to Brisbane for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. Zorko hacks the ball to half forward. Grimes and Cameron, they engage. Grimes, Cameron got in. What's happened? Free kick going Richmond's way. Cameron was pressing again. Grimes has got it at half back. First time this afternoon, Richmond are genuinely under pressure.
They led it by 26 at half time. 14 minutes later, they lead it by 7. They're making errors here, Richmond. Mitch Robertson's got another victim. Brisbane, an important ball through the middle of the ground. Zorko kicked the 2 to open the term. He bangs it inside 50. McStay's out of position. Asprey. Gee, the Tiger defence has been good all day. And the number 12 marks and just calms things down at centre-half back.
They don't, unlike other teams, they don't even go for the spoil spotter.
Yep.
They have that much confidence in their marking ability.
Graham got the short kick from Asprey, heads wide to Short, takes it in front of Robinson. Caden Short, right half-back flank, 7-point ball game. Brisbane have kicked the only 3 goals of the term. Short will go towards the broadcast wing.
Sends it down the line. That's a good mark taken by Stephen Martin. Getting hands on the footy at the moment, the Lions. It could be a turnover in the middle of the ground. No, they mop it up. Going to give it straight back to Basher Hawley. They've got the game, if they're good enough here, Brisbane, to really make a surge, but a couple of turnovers have hurt them.
So Witherden coughed up 2 kicks. Good spoil on the outer wing by Barley on Rioli. Good contest. Rioli dropped the ball. In comes Cox. Brisbane sniffing it now. Putting in more effort. Winning the contest. Got 3 goals. Comes to Rich. He retreats. Flicks a handball back. Look at the Brisbane jumpers.
They just make their way clear of this one. They go to the wing towards Hipwood. In fact, it's McStay now. Hipwood at ground level. Well done by Baker because he was against McStay. Managed to bring it to ground.
That's holding the footy.
Umpire disagrees. Duck will be passed up on the outer side.
Well, as soon as he ducked his head, that's prior opportunity for mine.
Let's have a look on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Well called, Duck. Good bit of Bosch, professional power tools, measuring tools and accessories. Can they get the next one, Brisbane? That had been 4 in a row to be back within a point. Ball is flicked out with an errant handball. Presti is happy to see go out of bounds and will have it tossed in. Right half forward flank. Southern side, Brisbane to the punt road end.
What do you reckon to hear under the lights, Chewy?
I reckon we've got just over 70,000, Howie. That'd be a record home and away crowd for Brisbane Lions, Brisbane Bears and the Fitzroy Football Club.
Oh, that's outstanding. After 85 here on Friday night, Cochin extracts it from the ball-up situation. Back to Cochin, little chipper Rioli on the paint of 50. He's got all sorts of options inside. And Lynch takes a mark and will line up from 48 just to calm things down for the punt road team.
I just want to check on Ash here. I know he doesn't make mistakes, but I'm pretty sure when the Queen was out here in 1970 and Fitzroy played Richmond, there was a record crowd for them. Is that right?
My database here.
Not my database.
That means I'm defensive.
Blaming someone else now. We'll get on to that. How many
But I don't know. I stand to be corrected, but I just remember that Fitzroy played Richmond.
Okay, Rocket was celebrating his 35th that day in Lynch. Nice! Good answer from the big Tiger forward. He's got his first and a bit of breathing space for the home side. The Lions 7-5-47, Richmond 9-6-60, 13-point margin. Bob Jane T-Marts, Mickey R.
Howie staggering. Charlie Cameron's come off the ground and gone straight up to the AFL and the umpiring fraternity in between the 2 camps. He's been escorted away by the Lions guys, the staff, obviously upset about something with regards to the umpiring out there. Haven't seen that before.
I'm pretty sure that'll be about that Grimes engages in not only contact but wrestles. He grabs hold of him. He really does grab hold of him, and I think he's complained a few times the umpires out there, but they haven't paid a free kick.
Tommy Lynch gets his first. They have a 13-point buffer. Richmond. Quick around the grounds, Auto Barnash.
Round the grounds, we've got the Dockers leading Port by 5 points deep into the first.
For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy. Robinson against Martin. Good contest. Ball spills free. Edwards, Zorko with great closing speed. Robinson gathered, darted through. He'll pump the ball inside 50. Can they get a mark? Bounces in front of Asprey and Vlosten. Is that deliberate out of bounds? I think it might be. Yep. I think it is. It is.
Had to be, really. So the free kick going the way of Berry. He'll just drop it right to the top of the square. McStay arrived late. Good fist across the line by Vlosten, who caught one for his problems and his trouble. And Brisbane will hope to access the ball deep in attack. In fact, it is a free kick to Vlosten, and probably fair enough. Deep in the back pocket.
And McStay got him high in the spoiling contest. Lynch will leap over the top. Almost a mark taken. Martin got it to Cochin, squeezes the handball through. Got to be good here. Edwards is closing on Ainsworth. Edwards was outstanding. Couldn't find the handball target. Ainsworth again. Put his body over the line. Caddy got him. Wrapped him up in a good tackle.
Gone up a notch.
That's what we want.
It has. Intensity's lifted, hasn't it? And the tackling pressure and the intent of the Brisbane Lions players has gone up. And that's been a noticeable difference since half-time.
Bob Jane T-Marts, Mickey.
I was just sensing something, boys. It's really edgy down here. It's like a firecracker. Something is going to give and something's going to go.
Okay. As the ball was punched down the line by the Tigers. And she's like a firecracker here at the MCG. 19:25 into the third term. Richmond lead it by 13 points. That's all in your Triple M Ream scoreboard.
Early today.
It was the Bulldogs by 34 points over the Crows.
Where'd the Bulldogs finish? Into home and away on the ladder.
7th on the ladder, going to be playing GWS away.
So Martin Steffen does the ruck work, throws it on the boot, but that's an easy mark from Caddy, the former Cat, former son, now a Premiership Tiger.
Number 22, Josh Caddy, centre wing, takes his time. Shallow entry inside 50, massive pack, gets through the hands of Stephen Martin, Hodges at the back, and bashes it out of defence, lands nicely to Zorko. Intelligent ball to McInerney on the wing. Here's a chance for the Lions to build.
Skipper really busy, goes to Cedric Cox, just love his name. What does he do? He looks inboard, darts it. Got a man edge of the square, goes to Rayner, got a man drifting out wide. They've got numbers. Adams can go out wide to McCluggage if he want. Can he get the mark? No, Vlosten saved the day. Take a bow, King Nick. Beautiful spoil, out of bounds, throwing.
That's what happens when you're not confident in your kicking. He kicks a 9-iron instead of being able to put that a little bit flatter into McCluggage.
Not many better players on the ground than Vlostone today.
No, he's been
super.
solid.
I think he's in that 40 for the All-Australian.
Ball comes back into play. Martin extracts it. No, he's dropped the ball. Hold the ball. Good tackle. Advantage will be paid. Can the Lions hit a target? It's a deep ball. McStay hasn't done much all day. Punched away from him. And the Lions will restrict the Tigers right at the top of the goal square. For Brisbane, they trail by 13 points. We're 21-10 into the third term, so just under 6 minutes to go.
Top of the punt road goal square. Brisbane pressure again. 3-1 in the quarter. McInerney got rid of his man. No whistle. Richmond desperately defend in their defensive goal square. Players wrap each other up. We'll have it thrown up. And we'll do it again. Punt road goal square.
Hey, Sharon.
Good tackle by McInerney on Martin. Brisbane continue to push. 3-1 for the term, although Richmond did kick the last one. It's rush through from behind. Richmond 9-6-60. The Lions now within 2 kicks, 7-6-48 on the Triple M Ream scoreboard. And we've got 5:41 to go before three-quarter time earlier on today. The Dogs by 34 points. They will play the Giants in the first week of finals.
Jaden Short takes the mark, heads out wide towards Brandon Ellis and Witherden. Ball goes over the top of those two, out of bounds. And we'll have it thrown in. Right half forward flank, southern side, Brisbane to the punt road end. 3-1. They got it within 7 points, but a goal to Lynch is first at the 17-minute mark, has them leading by 12.
Lights on and starting to take effect at the MCG. Tuesday, there's about 70 here. Brisbane will come again through the middle of the famous ground. A Hodge kicks off one step. It's a ground ball. Cochin keeps his feet, does well. Rockets a hand pass to Hooley. Now Ellis.
50 metres, Richmond advantage.
Advantage played the 50 metres. Might have been obstructing Cochin. Now comes the big Ivan. He was looking for the 50. It's a good ball inside 50. Well done by Cedric Cox, arrived late on the scene, affected a spoil. Harris Andrews goes hard, comes back to Josh Caddy, centering ball. Lions in defence.
It was the advantage to the Tigers until Big Soldo got involved. And
Then it got erased.
No longer the advantage.
So Bailey's got it. Defensive 50. Comes to the broadcast wing. McInerney's there with McStay. Back of the pack, McStay got it to Martin. Can he get it to Cox? He can, but he got beaten by a bad bounce. Now he's got 3 Tigers. Cox follows up with a good tackle on Prestia. Flicks a handball to Castagna.
Here come the Tigers. Castagna chipping ball. He's got options, and he's found a man that hasn't been cited a great deal today, and that's Shea Bolton, who's kicked 13 goals, 10 this year, and will line up for his 14th on a 45-degree angle from about 38 metres out. What's his numbers on the Reds' edge, Chewy?
Yeah, pretty quiet. 4 possessions, 3 marks, hasn't hit the scoreboard to date.
Not a game you want to come into quiet a week out before finals with some players to come back in, Chewy. So what's he got here, Bolton? 45-degree angle. This will really hurt the Lions. We'll get it back out to 3 goals deep in the third term. And a good turn for Brisbane. Starts it right and slides in, but never enough. So Richmond are 9-7-61. The Lions are 7-6-48. 24-13 into the third term on the Triple M Ream scoreboard.
3:44 to go, the third quarter. Been better from Brisbane. McStay with Broad, no mark. Bailey gathers. Charlie's out here. Too much carry on the kick. Grimes has held him.
Yeah.
Clearly held. Umpire didn't blow the P. He'll blow a gasket, Charlie.
Gee, it's hard to see how that wasn't a free kick. Right in front of us, Rocket, that one. Yeah, there'll be a free kick now.
But that's what Grimes has done every time in the contest. Put his arms around him.
Soldo's caught one high.
Time back, I need you to clear out.
So he's got it centre wing. Mitch Robinson a little bit slow.
Shoes off.
He's lost a boot, has he, Mitch?
Thank you.
Got a bit of a limp up. Yeah, Charlie could go ballistic here soon.
Play on.
Soldo goes back. And he finds the man in question, Dylan Grimes.
Hey, Charlie.
He was
Hey,
certainly
Charlie.
held by Grimes, was Charlie.
Leave it on. Play
No
on.
whistle or free kick, so Grimes will arc around. Drive it long to half forward. McInerney in front. Too much carry on it. Rewalt showed Candy. They bought it. Got it off to Lambert and puts it across the face of goal. Can Martin take the mark? No. Adams is there. Ball goes out of bounds off the hands. We'll have it tossed in.
Dusty Martin having a look up on the big screen.
Holding each other.
Triple M Bosch Tours replay screen, that is. Richmond is 61. The Lions are 48. We've got 2:40 to go. Defending with everything they've got here, Brisbane. It's a 13-point margin. They trail by 26 at half-time, so it's been a good term. Well done by the big O'Neill. What's he had now? Gets it to Robinson, who dropped the footy. He'll get a free kick, will Mitch?
Lachlan Neale, 36 touches, Howie, for Red Z.
36 touches. He's on the way to 50, Chew. Hasn't been a dominant 36,
No.
Ducky boy.
What's his PB, Ash?
Yeah, Lachlan
Metres
Neale.
gained. He's won a lot of it, but he hasn't really hurt them, has he?
He's been unobtrusive.
247 metres gains. PB, SWAT of 43.
Baker held. Tackle slip off the side of the boot on the outer half forward flank. McCluggage thought he might have tunnelled Caddy. Loose ball. Martin just waits. Neil, there's another disposal. Martin continues to hunt the ball, Dusty. He's tracked by a couple of Lions.
This is all taking place in the defensive flank for Brisbane. They clear it out towards the wing. Eric gets a fist on it. Banjalon will be a good result. Hooley says, no, I'm keeping it in. Berry can't stop him. Baker absolutely steamrolled on the outer side. And this has got a nice bit of fizz. Zorko got him. Bit of feeling in this game now. These two will meet each other in a final in a couple of weeks. The only thing to be decided is the venue at this stage. Looks like it'll be in Bris Vegas, Chewy.
Yeah, it will be. Brisbane take on Richmond up at the Gabba, you'd think, unless Richmond win by 63 plus.
Southern wing throw in, or throw up, I should say. Rayner did well not to give away the free kick against Prestia. What is Meatball's numbers today for Red Z Learning Ash?
Prestia 19, but only 4 in this quarter. Had 15 in the first half.
What about Zorko in this term, Ash?
Yeah, Zorko, he's in this quarter, SWAT up. He's racked up 7 touches, 3 tackles and a couple of goals.
Neil got a handball to Hodge, flicked it underground. They've done it well here, Brisbane. And the ball will go from Berry. It's a long ball. Will it stay in? No.
Who do you like up at the Gabba, Chew, between these two in a big final?
Jeez. Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? I think I'd be leaning towards Brisbane just.
Okay, they've got a fantastic home record, Chewy.
Play on.
Big marking contest on the outer wing. Caddy at ground level. Shrugs one tackle from Berry, who might have just tweaked the shoulder there. Straight back to Hodge, though. He gives it to Cochin. Messy at the moment, the game. A lot of pressure on. The umpire will toss it up. Jack Revolt kicked 4 in the first term. And he's still on 4 with his team leading by 13 points. And Schwarter got 1:11 to go before the final break.
Big fourth quarter coming up here. Cochin. They all peel off. He gives a handball to Georgie Castagna, flicks it over the top to Rewald, brings it inboard to Lambert. This is Richmond. This is absolutely brilliant. A wonderful goal. Lambert's got 2, and they are dangerous, Richmond. 67-48, 28 and a half gone, third term. Triple M Ream scoreboard.
Now, Lambert's one of those guys we talk about, sort of unsung heroes of your footy club. We've given Grimes plenty of merit over this year, Rocket, but Lambert's one that just flies under the radar. I think he was runner-up best, he's come runner-up best and fairest a couple of times over the Tigers, and they've got some pretty handy players. So
yeah, he really worked hard out of that stoppage, but that was all generated by Cochin's run on the footy, be able to sidestep a couple of players and have the nous to handball. The next handball onto Rewald. He turned inboard rather than go boundary, and there was Lambert running it flat out and hit him on the chest, and a really good finish.
And Dusty Martin's gone deep in the goal square, and Luke Hodge has gone back onto him at full back.
So Richmond lead it now, 67-48 on the Triple M Ream scoreboard. We've got 52 seconds to go. Brisbane can ill afford to give up another one. Oh, Oscar, nice little step. Impressive footballer. Getting himself into trouble with Answorth. It's a lucky kick, finds Berry. He's got it on the outer wing. How long have they got? Schwatter time?
43 seconds, Howie.
Okay, take it away, Guru.
So Neil squares it, Witherden. Lockie Neal's numbers, Ash. A lot of it.
40 touches.
Wow. Witherden goes long. Zorko will fly, goes up against Grimes. Which way's this go? No, it goes to Grimes. Lays a handball off to Short.
Jaden. He's caught from behind. Good tackle, the pressure applied. That was by Rayner. Richmond still might get out of it. Now they go through Prestia. Little slider into the middle of the ground. This is dangerous. Lynch is on his bike.
Here it is.
Martin, one-on-one in the square. And that one was Hodge.
I wanted to see that contest, Howie.
There's only one way it was going. That was Hodges. Three-quarter time here at the MCG. It was a pretty good turn by Brisbane. They kicked the first 3. The Lions got the last 2, though. 26-point margin at half-time. Three-quarter time, it is 19 points. Richmond 10-7-67. The Lions 7-6-48. Still a game on the line here. A term to go. Stick around for McDonald's. Triple M, Rocks footy. Three-quarter time here at the MCG. It was Richmond by 25 at quarter time, 26 at the half. The Lions kicked the first 3 of the third term, and then Lynch and Lambert answered for Richmond. They've narrowed it to a 19-point margin, the Lions. They were within 7 in that term, though. Richmond 10-7-67, the Lions 7-6-48. You can vote for your player of the round. Head to Google and search AFL Vote to have your say on who should win. Votes open 3 o'clock tomorrow. Bob Jane T-Marts, hurry in. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Bridgestone, Dunlop and Hancock tyres. Here's the Guru, Mickey Roberts.
Howie, I'm really fascinated with Charlie Cameron. He's had 15 goals in the last 3 games. And to come and berate the AFL and the umpiring fraternity down here and have to be escorted to the Brisbane Lions camp, I've never seen it before. I know Grimes is doing some funny stuff off the ball and one right in front of us. But it'll be really interesting to see how Fagan approaches him and how he reacts in this last quarter. And Squatter, for me, good luck in the last term. You've been fantastic over the last 8 years here on Triple M.
Thank you, Robbo.
Nicely done. Schwatter about to call his last term of football before he retires and moves to Costa Rica and rolls up a big one and enjoys his life. Triple M C-Bus Super special comments. C-Bus Super offering members insurance cover that protects building construction workers. You've got Rodney Eden, the king.
I think that quarter, we've spoken about it a little bit during the call, that Brisbane changed their game. They took the game on a bit more. They had a lot more handballs. They didn't handball much in the first half, but they had 56 kicks and 52 handballs for that quarter. Linked up a bit more, looked dangerous. Unfortunately, a couple of goals go against them towards the end of the quarter, but they narrowed the margin by 7 quarters, but they had a fair bit of dominance. If they can get the first couple of goals, I think it's going to be game on. There's certainly a bit more excitement in the game at the moment.
All right, final term is underway. Tigers by 19 for McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. Martin has 2 cracks at it. Lockie Neal overruns the ball. Edwards almost threw it out. Zorko's been energetic. Flicks it into the path of Martin. Can he gather it? Didn't worry about it. Socketed off the ground. Bounces it inside 50. Hipwood overruns the ball or got beaten by a bad bounce more.
Ball to the outer wing. Cluggage will see it across there. Ellis is happy for it to go that way. Give us some numbers, Chewy. That Lockie Neal numbers are exploding.
Well, the top 3 ranked players are Brisbane. So Lockie Neal, number 1, he's had 40 touches. Zorko, he comes in at number 2 with 22 and a couple of goals. And McCluggage, 23 and a major.
Oh, Lockie Neal, what's his career high disposals, Chewy?
His PB's 43, Howie.
Okay, looks like he's on the way there. Gee, that's a bit stiff. Ryan Ainsworth holding the ball.
He didn't take clean possession, I don't think.
Didn't look like a rocket.
Hasn't been their best day today. The boys in green. Edwards, wonderful player, goes towards Tommy Lynch at half forward, reached in and clunked a beauty at half forward.
That's gonna be telling in big finals, isn't it?
Yep.
Those hands for Tom Lynch.
So Rewalt's top of the goal square, punt road end.
Finals for the first time for the big man. See him on the big stage.
So he goes with a high long ball. Rewalt had 2 to beat, and Adams, who was well beaten by Jack in the opening term, conceding 4, took a well-judged mark.
And that's what he's better at. He's better at floating in that sort of third man up swatter.
There's a free kick. It's going the way of Brisbane. Andrews, what's his afternoon, Red Z2?
Harris Andrews, 9 disposals, taken just the 1 mark.
Okay, or Zorko, he might put that across the boundary line. It's an errant hand pass. McCluggage is good enough to mop it up. Oh, it's a barrel from Dane. Not enough of those in the modern game. Carries about 65 metres. Look who's there though, Vlostone. Handball's inboard and the Tigers should escape through Grimes and do.
Back to Prestia. Chipping ball over the top to Baker. Can come out wide. He's got short. Just patient. Pinpoint movement by the Tigers. Short with a short ball to Lely Lambert.
He's kicked a couple today. Has Kane Lambert. This one's sent down the wing. Steph Martin puts his big frame in good position to Gardner. A weird looking kick round the corner. Berry arrives and fists it across the line right in front of Robbo.
I think someone's done a pop-off in here.
Oh, why?
About?
What?
It's you, isn't it? You are the best.
Gee. Sending Swatter out on a real high, that is.
Well, it brings back memories of the day that I did let one out. And, Gary Lyon and James Brayshaw walked out of the box for the final 13 minutes.
13 minutes?
Yep, left.
She must have been a real stinker.
Oh, it was healthy.
Okay.
So we'll have it thrown up on the northern wing. Tigers by 19, but this time I can honestly say that wasn't me. And I'm with Rocket. I reckon it was Duck.
Well, the old saying, he who smelt it dealt it, as Mitch Robinson drives the ball down the wing. Oh, gee, it just opens up completely in front of McStay. He chips towards Hipwood. Oh, I nearly snaffled it there, Eric. Now the small men arrive on the scene. Where's Charlie?
He was being held by Grimes.
Okay, thank you, Rocket. Thank you, Rocket.
He was in the dungeon.
3.5 to go. 3.5 gone of the final turn. Brisbane have it in their forward 50. Martin against Soldo. McCarthy hasn't had a lot of it today. Prestia getting busy. Puts it towards the broadcast wing. Gardner will wait for the bounce, and he got a rank one. Rewalt inboard with the handball.
Oh,
and
gee.
Mad Mitch cannonballed him.
Umpire says play on. The Tigers drive the ball forward. Well done to Danny Rich. He's been solid today. Marks at half back.
He has, and that was a good mark running back with the flight, although he's coughed it up.
Luke Hodge looks like he's limping on the wing. Robbo will be all over that. That's not what Brisbane fans want to hear. They're going to drive it forward through Graham. Lynch looms, goes a bit early. Probably should have got a free kick, Andrews. Castagna goes off the ground, misses everything. Gardner dishes out a hand pass. This is desperation stakes now. Dusty's got it. Put it in your book. Dusty's got 2. And that really hurts the Brisbane Lions now. First goal of the turn for the Tiggies. 11-7-73. The Lions 7-6-48. And that is on your Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard. Simply Energy powering up the AFL. Oh, Robbo, what's up with the Hodgie man?
He's limping. Your mate is limping, Howie. Right side. He's in a lot of pain. He sat down. He shrugged the doctor off. He's tough. He's making out that there's absolutely nothing wrong, but there is something seriously wrong on the right side of his body. Limping around. We don't know whether it's a knee or an ankle. He hasn't shown his colours yet. we'll keep an eye on it. But Hodge in strife.
What about Castagna's recovery on the wing? He got tackled by Robinson, and then his ability to get up, run with the ball, and then there was chances for Brisbane to intercept there. They fumbled a bit. There was a bit of heat, bit of pressure, but Martin showed his class to be able to fend off two and hit a great goal.
25-point lead Richmond's way for McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. Zorko intercepts the ball, carries over the head of McCarthy, couldn't find the target. Grimes with an errant handball. Charlie Cameron holds Grimes, gives him a bit back. Loose ball, Cedric Cox. Zorko quickly inside 50. Can Hipwood get a mark? No.
Brings it to ground. Umpire says play on. Come on, Ecker, grab the footy. He's got an issue, does Big Eric. Umpire will toss it up. Well done to Cedric Cox. A great name, Swatter.
It is, Howie.
So Brisbane are in attack.
Throw up inside forward 50. Graham comes away with a wobbly ball out wide. Rioli and Cox. Who's got the speed? Cox might have it on this occasion. I say that with some surprise because Rioli's got plenty. Cedric feeds the handball towards McStay. Can't find the target before it trickles out of bounds. And will have it tossed in. So they trail by 25. 6.5 gone, final term. And that is Richmond's way on the Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard. Simply Energy powering up the AFL.
Yeah, he looks like he's got real wheels, doesn't he?
Yep.
What it, Cox?
Looks okay down there, Bob Jane, Luke Hodge.
He
Robbo.
does. He hasn't sat down. He's having good chats with Fagan down here. I think he's actually come good. It's a knock. It's a knock to the knee, I reckon. So he could be okay, Howie.
Okay, slight reversal there from Robbo, who had Luke Hodge never walking again. There's now Vlosten at half-back. Splits it wide to Broad. He picks it on the half-back line, drives it down to Robbo, the number one boundary rider in the caper. And that's a good mark taken by Jack Revolt.
Yep, right in front of the Brisbane bench. Vlosten's marks today for Red Z Lending, Ash.
Vlosten's taken 9 marks, Swatter, 7 of those intercept.
Such a good player, Nick Vlosten. Rewalt, 4 goals in the opening term. Wobbles it to half forward. Andrews thought he was slightly impeded by Tommy Lynch.
He's been unlucky a couple of times, Andrews.
Yep.
Swatter. Lynch flew early a second ago and was hanging on then.
What are Ecker's numbers? Eric Hipwood as he gets the free kick here, Chewy.
11 disposals, 7 marks, just the 1 major.
Red Z Lending, loan specialists for the self-employed. Big contest down the line. Richmond players fall hard. One's Broad, another one's yet to get up.
Bolter, I think.
You heard the bodies from here, Rob.
Yeah, it was smacking, wasn't it? A real smack of the bodies.
It was, indeed.
Bolter.
That is old Noah Bolter. He looks okay now. Oh, someone's got to go with the blood roll.
It'll be Prestia. No, it's not.
That's Bailey, I think.
It'll be Bailey for the Brisbane Lions. Robbo, a bit of claret out of the snoz.
Yeah, just caught one across the nose, so he's okay. And Hodgie back on to right side. He's back in the fray.
That's good for Brisbane. But what's not good is a 25-point deficit, and that is an aggressive tackle from Rioli on Robinson. And he'd love that, Mitch. Gets up with a wry smile, and we'll have it thrown up on the broadcast wing.
Tough unit, old Mitchy Robinson. Loves a scrap. Edwards from the ruck contest. Hand pass a little bit slick for a teammate. Now the Lions descend on the pack. So they've got to kick the next, Brisbane. They'll get a free kick here for holding the ball. Goes to Daniel Rich. That big, long left foot ball. Can someone take a mark? They can't. Fist towards the line. What's the margin here, Chew? 73 to 48.
25 points.
25 points with 14 minutes to go. So they've got to hit the board in the next couple, you'd figure here, the Lions, to give themselves any hope.
Autobahn around the grounds. Port Adelaide by 3 points over Freo, halfway into the second.
Throw in Brisbane forward 50. 40 around from goal. Rayner on the stretch. Couldn't take it cleanly. Tumbling ball, a wobbly finger breaker. Hodge gets in the way against Lynch, did well. Andrews is there, flicks the handball to Gardner, but that was a hot handball. Hodge couldn't get there in time before Lambert could.
Mitch Robinson comes in attacking hard outside of the boot from Revolt's a clever kick. Brisbane should have the numbers, and Adams he's done pretty well after getting an early bath, Ducky boy, from Revolt.
Yeah, he's fought back well.
Had 4 kicked on him in the opening term. Steph Martin, that's a good mark.
Good player, Steph Martin. Doesn't get the plaudits that he deserves.
Good hair too.
Been a good ruckman. Gets plenty of the ball. How many's he had? 2 men?
Yeah, Stephen Martin for Red Z Lending. He's had 15 touches.
Good mark over the top of Hooley by McStay. Got to make something happening shortly, Brisbane. McStay will go towards the pocket. Cameron will stay down. Eric Hipwood the leap over the top. Vlosten with a floating handball, all of 30 metres, got it to Graham, and he's put into the turf by an aggressive Robinson tackle.
Took the contact, delayed the hand pass nicely. Hooley, that beautiful left foot ball down the line. Lynch fists it towards the ground. Here comes Dusty. He's tapped out the back. He's clever. Rioli, his problems. Soldo, what's he going to do? He's got Rioli in front of him. Delays the hand pass now. Rioli will hit 50. He's got 2-3 options in board. Take your pick, Daniel. He does. I reckon this will be the game, because Ellis is going to stride into a goal. The Punt Road Army love it. Richmond are as good as home here. Sewing up a top 4 spot. Richmond 12-7-79. The line 7-6-48. That's all on your Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard. Right now you can grab a small cheeseburger meal with your choice of pie for just $4 only at Macca's.
I'll tell you, one of the positions that you'd love to play in this team, Rocket, is on the wing.
Oh, yeah. I've thought about being a winger myself. It's fantastic.
Isn't it?
Oh, it is, because
They just drift. They just find so much space.
They keep their width.
Yep.
Obviously, they're trained. That's the pattern they want to run. They get back to help the defence. And the ability, knowing that they're going to change direction and come out the other side. But coming back, again, what we said at three-quarter time, how Brisbane changed their game. McStay marks the ball, takes his time, then kicks it shallow, kicks it towards the boundary. Every time they go to a pack situation like that, Brisbane defence mop it up. They mopped it up out of it, ran the length of the ground and got a goal.
So not having the 6-6-6, there's the warning against Brisbane.
Should it be a warning?
No, not now. I wouldn't have thought so, Rocket. It's been in this whole season for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. Martin threw a bird at it, couldn't get it. Hawley through the corridor, got it over to Big Soldo. He wheels around the big man. Chipping ball out wide. It'll bounce towards Rioli. Can he gather it? No. A slight fumble. The push off against Gardner was good. Arches his back. Oh, he's creative.
Backed himself. Oh, gee, the kick wasn't so creative. Went to try and tunnel ball it through a couple of Lions' legs. Bob Jane teammates, Mick,
Yeah, Dylan Grimes off the ground with Revolt. They're starting to take their stars off the ground, so obviously they think that they've done enough for the afternoon, so Tigers through.
Thank you, Robbo. Bob Jane T-Marts. Bob Jane T-Marts, hurry in. Buy 3, get 1 free. Selected Bridgestone, Dunlop and Hancock tyres. Martin to Graham. In tight space, got it off to Prestia. Quick kick around the corner. Hodge stood his ground against Cochin. Slick handball from Neal.
42.
Got it over to Robinson. Tumbles the ball towards half foot. That's surely a free kick to McStay against Broad.
Yeah. Their defenders do it really well, but they have gone over the line consistently, and the umpires aren't picking it up.
Brisbane Rock.
I reckon Brisbane will say anything in the lead up to the next final, especially with 8.
Oh, 100%.
Have to.
No doubt.
Have to.
And they'll have some vision on it. I reckon they'll even fly down and meet them.
Oh, no. Oh, slick hand pass from Rioli. That's really good. Caddy's on the burst. Hits 45. Oh, Lynch. Did he fall over?
Yep.
He was about to mark it on the chest. He fell down to big Tommy Lynch. With it, and with a reverse spiral, not easy to do. But it's going to come back the other way off the boot of Jaden Short.
His kicking's let him down a bit today, Witherden. Short, out wide, Hawley, Toyota logo.
Yeah, Hawley, 26 touches.
Just finds a lot of the footy to his basher. Goes out wide to Lambert, who's got a couple this afternoon. 48-79, 13 and a half gone. Richmond on their way to shoring up a top 4 spot.
It'll land in the pocket for the Tigers. Big fist from Harris from behind. Cochin keeps his arms up above the tackler and is able to release a handball. And it's taken across the line by Answorth. So it's 79-48. So if this result doesn't change, Two-Man, these two will play each other in a final where?
They will up at the Gabba. So Brisbane will finish second, Tigers third.
And that'll be a qualifying final in Brizzy, yeah?
Yep, spot on.
10 and a half to go. Final quarter of the home and away season for these two teams. Lynch slaps it inside 50. Neal got it off to Robinson, and Mitch will spear it out wide towards McStay, but Baker was outstanding and then got his head ripped off.
Ball in the middle of the ground. So the loser of that game, Chewy, who would they potentially meet in the crossover? We'll give you a chance to think about that.
Brisbane would want that game. They'd want a Saturday afternoon in heat.
Yep.
Wouldn't they?
Yeah, Jay-Z thought it could potentially be a Saturday night game, that one.
No, but for them, an advantage would be during the day if the weather was like it was a couple of weeks ago, 28 on the Saturday.
Pretty nice up there at the moment in old Brizzy. Ball in the outer wing. Witherden. In fact, it's not Witherden. It is. Does well by hand. Here he goes. The beautifully named Cedric Cox moves the ball forward.
To Cameron. What's he had in the second half, Ash?
Okay, he's only had 4 possessions.
Including a goal.
Yep.
He'll go long with a high speculator. Rayner over the top, reached in, couldn't get near it. Fall of the ball, McCluggage. Got it over to a teammate. Good tackle though. That was McCarthy. No, it was Lockie Neal. Wrapped up by Vlosten. He can do it in the air. He'll do it on the ground. No, that was Caddy. No, it's Vlosten.
Vlosten.
Not sure who's giving the votes today, Rocket or the Duck?
Rocket's turn.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think.
Vlosten would have to feature, you'd imagine, Rocket.
I think he's 3 at the moment.
Yep, hard to argue with
Marcus?
that. You Rodney?
All right. Secret score.
Did you say your middle name was? You told us earlier on.
Yeah, Peter.
No, it wasn't Peter. It wasn't Peter. What
Francis.
Was it? Francis,
No,
that's
that's
right.
mine.
No, that was Duck.
Was it Lloyd?
Yeah.
That's it.
Lloyd.
Clive
you.
Lloyd.
Yep.
Lloyd.
Rodney
Like
Lloyd Eade.
Lloyd out of Entourage, one of the great characters.
Free kick going Richmond's way. And it goes to big Ivan Soldo against Oscar McInerney. So chips the ball over the top. Got a man free. Gets around McInerney, and that's Jaden Short with a spearing ball to half forward.
Yeah, it's a nice mark taken by Robinson, who's been good for Brisbane. So the loser of the qualifying final between Brisbane and Richmond at the Gabbard-Chew, who would they potentially meet?
Yeah, I've got page 880 open in regards to the final 8 system. How we come back to you in 2 minutes.
Okay, sorry, Chewy. I
You're
thought
right.
That little nod meant you were ready to roll. My apologies.
Thanks, Josh. Wait, Josh.
So the ball on the outer side.
Give it a laugh.
Damien
Play on.
Hardwick on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay screen, looking pretty happy. Good, better Bosch, professional power tools, measuring tools and accessories. Brisbane just chipping the ball across half back. It's in the hands of Luke Hodge, who'll go into yet another final series. What an asset he'll be when the Lions face the heat of September. Prestia tries to step through a tackle, doesn't really go anywhere.
Handball comes out. Neil, what's he at, Ash?
Lockie Neal, 44 touches.
Oh, goodness me. That is a PB. Cedric Cox takes the chest mark. He's off his line. He's got to go. Left foot chipper is a stinker.
Cedric.
Straight into the waiting hands of Jaden Short.
Yeah, Howie. So the loser of that qualifying final between Richmond and Brisbane would play the winner between the Bulldogs and GWS. Semi-final the following week.
Gee whiz, that's nice work.
So if Brisbane lost that, they play at home again.
Yeah. Richmond would get a home game down here against the Dogs or GWS. Jeez, the Dogs could cause some real damage, Swatter.
Yep.
Harris Andrew goes out across the line on the outer side.
They're in good form, the Bulldogs. Around the grounds, Tuman, Autobahn.
We've got the Port Adelaide Power by 10 points over Freo, nearing half-time.
7:23 to go here. Richmond have it in control. 31-point lead. Throw in. Southern half forward flank, punt road end. McInerney over the top of his man, trying to barge through those meaty legs as Prestia couldn't come away with it. Just waiting, preying on a loose ball is Graham. Brisbane get it free. Lockie Neal, does that count as a touch, Ash?
It does. 45 he's up to.
A very little short kick, about a metre. Mitch Robinson's had a good second half too, Chulenko.
He's had 18 touches for the game, Howie. In the second half, as we break it down, he's had 9.
It's what he does when he hasn't got the footy. That's been his strength.
How do you mean, Duck?
He stood out. Well, the pressure he's put on. He saved 2 or 3 certain goals for the Tigers in this quarter alone.
Cooley got it. Half back for the Tigs.
Move it on. Play on.
Takes his time. Sends the ball down the line. Rioli. Hear the cry, go Daniel. I want you boys to start having a think about who your tip for the Premiers is coming in. You've seen everyone. We pretty much know who's going where and who's going to play who. We'll start with you in a moment, Duck. Berry drives the ball deep towards the pocket. McCarthy couldn't take the hanger he did last week. Richmond take it across the line. All right, Duck, if you had to pick one team, I know it's tricky, a lot to play out, but you've seen the season. Who do you think?
Yeah, I think the team we're watching today is the team to beat.
Richmond?
Yeah, but I think West Coast are the equal to them. I think the West Coast are the only team that can knock the Tigers off.
Okay.
Throw in Brisbane's forward 50. Lockie Neal, 46 touches. Almost a mark taken by McStay. Got a handle off to Charlie Cameron. Got it. Got 2. Brisbane get their first of the final term. And they trail by 25 points. 8-6-54 to 12-7-79. And importantly, there's only 5:53 left on the tick-tock.
But Brisbane will take a lot of confidence out of this game here today.
Okay.
They will take a lot of confidence. They haven't been blown away by any stretch.
No.
It looked like they could, but they've fought their way back in it. So They're a good team, Brisbane,
All right.
and they're going to take some beating up there.
And except for Cameron, who's in there, so their bottom 10 possession, or bottom 9 possession winners are younger players and players that you'd hope they're going to get a lift. So there's too much difference between their top and their bottom. Charlie Cameron is only going to improve, but Gardner, McStay, Cox is young, Rain hasn't done enough, Ainsworth, McInerney, McCarthy's only had 6 possessions. Now, they certainly need more out of him.
Who do you like for the premiership, Rocket, from what you've seen?
Tiger so far.
Tigers, Chewy?
Yeah, Richmond, Howie.
Shorter?
Tigers.
Okay. Away we go again.
For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy. Tigers will get it forward. Bolter thumps it inside 50. Trapping it well was Hodge. Still got a bit of run left in those ageing legs. Berry got a handball to Robinson. He'll just wobble the ball over towards Stephen Martin.
No confidence in the box with Geelong. As the ball goes into the middle of the ground.
They're a chance, Howie.
Okay. Jack Revolt. I might put my solid weight behind Geelong. And again, the ball will be stymied and tossed up in the 50-metre arc for Richmond. They lead at 79 to 54, and we've got 5:22 to go before this one's done. We'll get the second half of Port Adelaide versus Freo. Bob Jane, Robbo.
How we just noticing Cochin down here having his hamstrings rubbed. Thumbs up to the doctor, and he's got through. So that's a great sign for the Tigers.
Who do you like for the flag, Robbo?
The Tigers. Tigers for me, mate.
Game time for Cochin, Chew.
Yeah, Red Z lending Swatter. Game time for Trent Cotchin. He's tracking at, here we go, if I can find it, 76%.
Well done, Chew, man. So a big tick for the skipper. Hamstring injuries through the course of this year. And he looks to have got through A-OK. He'll have next week off and get ready to go against Brisbane in 2 weeks' time at the Gabba
Swatter, so almost prior to this game starting, just under 6.9 million people have attended the home and away season in the AFL, which is a record of all time.
It is a record again.
It is, yeah.
Broken at the last few in a row, haven't they?
Well done to everyone that's come to a game of footy this year. AFL have put on a pretty tasty season too, got to be said. Richmond are 80, the Lions are 54. We've got 4:52 to go, but as you said, Duck, they've lost few fans here today, the Lions. They look like getting jumped early, but they've stuck with it.
Yep.
Good tackle on the outer half forward flank for the Lions. It was McCluggage. So we'll have it thrown up again, right half forward. Southern side, punt road in, McInerney slaps it forward towards the outer wing. Tigers have numbers, Graham, they peel off him. Flick a handball over to Dusty, the shoulder shrug. Then the fend, you're gone, Dusty. He ran into a Brisbane sandwich.
How's old mate Lockie Neal's charged towards the half century going, Chew?
He's 4 off, so he's at 46 at the moment. Most number of disposals by Brisbane player ever was Tommy Rockcliffe with 48.
Okay. Aussies win the test tonight, or England pull off?
It's going to be tough, isn't it?
What do you think, Chewy?
I'll back the Aussies in.
Okay, Rocket?
Yeah, back the Aussies in, mate.
Okay. New ball due in 8 overs tonight. That'll be the key, you'd imagine, for the Aussies.
Yes, can't leak runs in those 8 overs.
Okay. Steph Martin in the ruck, brings it to ground. Prestia shins the ball forward, only as far as Castagna. Edwards, little step, wants to go inboard, in the end goes back by hand.
To Jaden Short, who can drop it long. Adams locks on. Rioli and Rewalt collide. Perhaps didn't need to do that, Daniel Rioli. And we'll have it thrown up on the right half forward flank. Punt road in. 12-8, 80 to 8-6, 54. Richmond. They had significant injuries in the first part of the season. We spoke to Neil Baum. A lot of kids came in. They've done it well, and they've locked up a double chance.
Free kick to Brisbane. You can hear the umps mic'd up exclusively for the M's. Berry's getting the free kick. Number 7, Brisbane Lion.
That's it. Try and record. Play on.
It's a ball sent down the line. Steph Martin was spoilt by a teammate there. That wasn't very good talk. That was McCarthy, who's had a pretty quiet game.
6 possessions, Howie, scoreless.
He was pretty quiet last week too, Chew. I know he kicked the match winner, but prior to that, he'd been reasonably unsighted. Lambert, now to Bolton. That's a clever little kick. Rioli! Daniel Marks, 30 out, no angle, and he'll line up to kick Richmond's 13th goal. And he has already kicked one himself this afternoon.
What's the goal spread, Two-Man?
Yeah, good point, Duck. 7 goal kickers. This would be number 8.
That's the roars of the Punt Road Richmond supporters as Dusty Martin comes off. With 3 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock. Rioli's gone back a long way. Called to play on. It took so long. So he's forced to kick from 50. And he hooks it. Must have gone over his time there, Daniel Rioli.
He did.
Richmond are 81, the Lions are 56.
2:45 to go. Quick around the grounds for Autobahn, two-man.
It's half-time, Swatto. It's Port Adelaide by 15 points over Freo.
Earlier today.
Bulldogs by 34 points over the Crows. Bulldogs 7th to play GWS the week after the elimination final.
Lachie Neale has got another disposal.
Well, here we go. That is disposal number 50.
50 disposals in.
He's had 4 that time, and I didn't notice that he did.
Yep. You sure that's right, Ash?
Yeah, it's just clicked over. Yep, half century to Lachie Neale.
Now.
He's raising the bat.
Got it. Broadcast swing. He had a man off his right shoulder, and that was Andrews. 10 metres away, missed him by 15. With the kick, Andrews got rid of the tackler in Rioli. Handle over the top to Robinson, back to Andrews, and he goes inside 50.
It'll land in the pocket. Eric Hipwood hasn't really been an influence. Kicked one nice goal. Baker wanted to dash it out of there, but dropped the ball right at the critical moment. It's across the line. Richmond are 81, the Lions are 54.
Howie, that crowd's just filtered through 76,995. And just recapping, it's been a record in regards to the AFL attendance season this year.
Great crowd. Off you go, Schwatty.
Fantastic. Ellis, Edwards, cheeky handball to Lambert, back to Ellis by hand, edge of the square, always got support from somewhere. Baker was the man, hacked the ball towards broadcast wing, mopping it up, Brisbane. Robinson floats it back to Rich, the left foot cannon goes short, and he's got his man inside the square, Rayner,
the number 16, wants to go, splits it out towards Hodge, had a bit too much on it, so he's going to have to battle with Vlostone. Comes back towards Bailey, little slider. Cedric Cox can't take it. Bailey will come again. He's got his head taped up. Ellis, nice handball. Finds Graham, and the Tigers will repel once again.
Darting ball on the bounce to Lambert, flicks it over the top, got a man out, and it's Noah Bolter. Has a bounce, got it off to Bolton. Goes inside 50, man on his own. Tommy Lynch takes the mark. Deep in the pocket. 1:04 to go. And they'll have to go back and kick over his mark. Lynch has got, what's he got, Ash? 1?
Yeah, 1 major for Lynch.
Punt road end. Richmond have got a top 4 spot. They'll head to Brisbane in 2 weeks' time to take on the Lions. And Tommy Lynch, the former Gold Coast Suns player, now a Richmond player, on his way to a finals appearance. And at least 2 of them. They lead by 27 points. Just ticked over 28 minutes of the final term. Tiger faithfuls hold their breath. Kick. Hits the post. They're behind. 28-point margin. And 29 seconds to go of the final term.
Brisbane set to bring the ball back in. Off the boot of Daniel Rich. Just messing around, trying to get their hands on the footy, so the clock stopped at the 25-second mark. Rich will drive it long, and Schwatter finish it off for us, Big Daddy.
Very kind of you, Howie. Rich goes towards the outer half forward flank. The mark is taken by Rayner. Siren only seconds away. A short ball from Rayner's not a good kick. Robinson flies. He goes again, Mitch. Continues to work hard. Chipping ball out wide to Oscar McInerney. Tigers are home. A double chance coming Richmond's way. West Coast will take on the Bombers. Round 1 of the finals. Is that right, Ash?
Spot on, Swatter.
And Eric Hipwood takes the mark. It's all elementary now. Richmond are in the top 4. Dusty, Prestia, Short and Cochin end on the bench. And Eric Hipwood, after the siren, for a little bit of respectability, casually comes in. Kick is on its way. Hits the post. Richmond defeat the Brisbane Lions to end their home and away season. 12-10-82. The Brisbane Lions 8-7-55.
Well done to the Tigers. They win their final match of the home season. They'll take on Brisbane in a couple of weeks' time up at the Gabba in a qualifying final. It was the Tigs by 25 at quarter time, 26 at the half, 19 at the final break. In the end, Richmond 12-10, 82. The Lions 8-7, 55. Richmond by 27 points. Jack Riewoldt kicked 4 all in the first term. Lambert got a couple, as did Dusty Martin. Cameron and Zorko 2 each for the visitors, in front of 76,995 people. Here is Daisy Pearce with a star for the Tigs today, courtesy of 7 Nick Flostone.
Play the role today where you do a bit more intercepting because Dylan had his hands full on Charlie. Is that something that you plan during the week and is predetermined, or is it just how the cards fall on the day?
Yeah, it's just how it falls, I suppose. The other boys did really good blocking out on the night, so I got to lick the ice cream tonight, so I think Grimesy had it a couple of weeks ago, so we shared around a bit.
Now, early in this season you were without Grant, without Riewoldt, without Cochin. Were there times where you doubted your ability to, play deep into the season and you've just stitched up a top 4 spot?
No, we knew we just had to hang tough early in the year. We had to blood some new young players and we found a couple, so that's really exciting as well. So we knew we could just hold in there. Later on in the year, we had a lot of games at the G as well, so we could try and make a run for it.
During that tough period, did guys like yourself have to step up in a leadership capacity?
Yeah, a little bit. Shadow was Stephen Bradbury of the captain, so we had our 3 leaders out, so a couple of us go to leaders meetings, but everyone stood up. We played a lot of games together, so we mixed it up. And a rematch in a couple of weeks might be a bit warmer. You got to go to the Gabba. Yeah, that's it. This is the first dry game we've had in 7 weeks or something, so didn't mind it. We'll see how we go. Congratulations, Nick. Good luck in the next couple of weeks. Perfect. Thanks, Daisy.
Next to the 7 Network, to Daisy Pearce and to Nick Flostone. Right now, you can grab a small cheeseburger meal with your choice of pie for just $4, only at Macca's. Earlier on today, Tuopolo.
It was the Bulldogs by 34 points over the Crows. It's half-time in the final game to complete the home and away. Port Adelaide by 15 over Freo.
That's to Autobahn. All right, Chewy, tell us what is going to happen in the first week of finals, please.
Well, here we go. So we'll look at the qualifying finals. We have Geelong taking on Collingwood at the MCG, of course.
Potentially on a Friday night.
Potentially on a Friday night. Then we have Brisbane up at the Gabba hosting Richmond in the other qualifying final.
Potentially on a Saturday night.
And if we look at the elimination finals, West Coast Eagles versus Essendon at Optus Stadium.
Potentially on a Thursday night.
And the other elimination final, Giants taking on the Bulldogs. That will be at Giants Stadium.
Potentially on a Saturday afternoon. Nicely done by you, Chewy. And a couple of Triple M Red Z lenders for the final stage of the home and away. And then, Chewy, you step up in finals as you've done so many seasons on the M's.
Well, Brisbane actually 3 more inside 50s, but you break down the marks inside the forward 50. Richmond twice as many, 16-8, but individually, number 1 ranked player on the ground was Lachie Neale with 51 disposals. Not often we see that. Throw in 14 clearances. McCluggage, he had 28 and kicked a major. Zorko busy with 27, a couple of goals. And for the Tigers, Hawley and Prestia 30. Martin 21, a couple of majors. But Flostone, 19 possessions, 9 marks, 7 of those intercept. Riewoldt with 4 majors. And Trent Cotchin ended up playing 71% game time and finished with 15. Recapping that crowd, 76,995 and record attendance in terms of numbers through the turnstiles in season 2019 for the home and away, Howie.
Well done, Chewy. Head to Google and search AFL Vote to have your say on who should win this week's Player of the Round. Votes over at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Rocket, you have the Triple M MVP award, the award the players want to win. What do you got for us, Big Daddy?
Very interesting. I gave 1 to Lachie Neale through weight of numbers, really, and he had 6 tackles as well, so he was in and under all day. I gave 2 to Bashir Hawley at half-back for plenty of drive, and 3 to Nick Flostone. I thought his interception work and his ability to defeat an opponent and give some drive as well was paramount.
Couple of thoughts from you before we get the song in the rooms, Wayne Carey?
Yeah, I don't think Brisbane lost any fans today. They'll go into the... It'd be interesting to see who goes in as favourites, Swatter, up in Brisbane. We know that it's become a fortress up there for them. And the Tigers, well, I think they are the team to beat. So that's a fascinating first final for me, now that that's up there. They give themselves a shot at it, Brisbane.
And just having a look on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay screen, who's addressing the Brisbane group? But Luke Hodge got them in a tight huddle before they leave off. Love to know what they're talking about. I'm sure he's saying it's a whole different thing in September, Schwatter.
Yeah, look, he's the perfect person to guide them into their first final series since 2009. There you go. I think when Brendan Favola might have been playing for the Brisbane Lions. So Luke Hodge has got a wealth of experience. He's done it all before, Howie, and I'm sure that he'll be a significant player on and off the field over the next few weeks for Brisbane.
Just before we get down to the Richmond rooms, just indulge me a bit, mate. You've called your final game of AFL football, if all comes to pass. Did a nice job of it. How are you feeling?
Feel good. Don't have to put up with you lot for another
It's a bit
few years. No, I've had a blast, Howie. It's
Well done, Schwatter.
It's been a lot of fun, and it's been great to work with so many good people, including this team, both on the mic but also behind.
Good on you, Schwatter, and just doing some great stuff with Pucker Up. So hopefully at some stage you'll come into the back of the box and bring the family in here and see how we go.
Cashy?
I didn't think there was a payment required.
Right.
I thought we were mates, but no, that's fair enough. As the Tigers go down the race, I always like to get to Mickey Roberts and give him plenty of time to operate because he is big in September, man. And he gets pumped up down there. So we'll get to him in a couple of moments. The Bulldogs earlier on today, Chewy.
Yeah, they defeated the Crows by 34 points, and Bontempelli, he was the number 1 ranked player, so he's one of the favourites for the Brownlow, isn't he?
Duck, the Giants v the Dogs. Who do you back for that game?
Or on form, you go for the Dogs.
The West Coast versus Essendon in Perth.
West Coast easy.
Geelong versus Collingwood at the MCG.
Geelong for me.
And the repeat of this game?
Oh, that's a tough. It's one of the tougher ones for me. I'll stick with the Tigers, but I reckon it'll be an unbelievable game.
We'll get your thoughts on it in a moment, Rocco, because I want to give plenty of space for this man to operate. Mickey Roberts, come in, full of passion, Robbo.
Howie, thank you. I'm down here, the Tigers, Tigerland, eat 'em alive. I love it. As I'm looking around, Dimmer, gee, he's happy. He's very happy. Big Benny Gale, they're waiting for the troops to come down here. Big crowd in too, as you can imagine. They didn't go away. I'm just watching Grimes now come in, and he passed a big fitness test, took after Charlie Cameron. They're going to pump the volume up here. Here's the crowd. You can hear him now. Alice is in. I'm waiting for Dusty. Here's the man. Dusty's magnificent. Shane Edwards. Gee, when you look along, they've got leaders on every line, the Tigers.
Well, they do.
They do. They've got leaders on every line. Jack will come in last, as he usually does. Never runs through the banner, Jack. It's all about him. And they're going to join hands, join arms. Here we go. Get ready for one of the greatest songs of all time. Cochin's got his kids.
Robbo, can you do me a favour and get the microphone under Jack Revolt so we can hear when he gives it? Come on, you Tigers.
No worries. I'll get that for you, Howie. They're warming up. There's a few kids here, so they won't be Gatorading too much. Koch has got he's passed a good fitness test too with that hamstring.
It's a small child he's got under one arm, Robbo.
Here we go. Tigerland.
A fighting fury, we're from Tigerland. In anywhere that you will see us, we do it. Everyone, we'll fight and win, but we're from Tigerland. We never win until the final siren's gone. Like the Tigers of old, we're stronger, we're bold, but we're from Tiger. Yellow and black, go, we're from Tigerland.
Robbo, how old's that child in there? Koch's little one there.
I reckon weeks old. We seriously just come out of the hospital. That one, seriously young one. But I've got Jack. I'm going to hunt him down. We're going to talk to Jack Revolt. They're just going to pat each other on the back. This has been a big win for them. What is it, top 4? And they play the Brisbane Lions again, don't they, in a couple of weeks? So they'll go around again, these guys. So just waiting for Jack. But this is a really enthusiastic side that's actually primed to take it out, I reckon. So full of confidence down here, Howie.
Real paediatrician stuff from Robbo. That one straight out of the hospital.
You'll worry what he's going to say, weren't you?
Where he's going to go. He's a good family man, though, Robbo, so he'll keep everything under control down there. Beautifully done, as always. Sets the scene like no one in football. Rocket, while we're just waiting for an interview, I'll ask the same thing of you. Brisbane versus Richmond in a qualifying final. Who do you like?
What I've seen today, Richmond.
Richmond, West Coast over the Bombers in Perth.
West Coast.
Geelong versus Collingwood here at the MCG.
I'm going the Pies.
And the Bulldogs versus the GWS Giants.
No, I think they won there a couple of weeks ago, and even with Cameron back, I'm still the Dogs.
Okay, so you think the Pies to get it over Geelong? All right, there'll be a big affair there, possibly on a Friday night. How are you tracking down there, Robbo?
Just waiting for Jack. He's just having a chat to some family, and I'm just going to wait for Jack Revolt in a sec. So just give us a couple of secs, Howie, till we organise that.
Do a bit more scene setting for us, Robbo. Is there any injuries down there or not?
No injuries. The two big ones were Grimes. Dylan Grimes had to get over that rolled ankle, and Cochin was the other one. They put him in mothballs about halfway through that last quarter, but as I said, he's had the hamstring injury, he's had soft tissue, hasn't played since round 19. He's the captain of the side, and for him to come through was a real test. Bit of a risk, but he had to do it because he's warming up for the finals. And this is a confident mob, mate. They've got their players back. Alex Rance, we know, won't be there, but they've got the rest back, and they're warming to it, and there's a quiet confidence. And I feel that in these rooms tonight. No worries about that, Howie.
I'm being told the 28th of July that little bubble was born, so less than a month ago. So, Robbo, you're spot on as always. And just working away down there as we wait for an interview with Jack Revolt. There's another game taking place which we'll go to, Two-Man. What's the score there?
There is, Howie. It's half-time. It's Port Adelaide 7-9-51, leading the Dockers by 15 points, 5-6-36.
All right. Well, we're not too far away down there. I think the great man who snagged 4 in the first terms with you, Robbo.
Oh, wow. What a start out of the blocks, Jack. Kick 4 in no time. Good start by you.
Yeah, it was all right. Dusty nearly broke my chest. He kicked one of those low little punts at me and nearly went through my guts. It was that quick, but yeah, it was good to get a couple on the board early. Actually kicked for goal pretty well today. I've been kicking it pretty crap lately, and drop punts went through. So yeah, it's good to get some great service.
We felt during the call that the Tigers were in total control, really, but they seem to be able to hang in there, Brisbane. They're a good football team.
Yeah, good sides hang around when they're, I suppose, they're against adversity, and they're a really great side. So I suppose both sides have got a pretty good little sample to what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. So no doubt the Oppo analysis blokes will be earning their dollars over the next fortnight.
Hey, Jack, I want to talk about yourself for a little bit because you were on fire early in the game, and you got a guy like Marcus Adams who clearly didn't have the agility. Do you and Lynchy then, and then in the second term, they could have used you a couple of times, but they didn't. They went to other options. When you're like that, clearly you just want to isolate Adams deep.
Yeah, we spoke about it. If he was going to go to Lynchy, we thought they might have swapped, but if he was going to go to Lynchy, then we were going to roll over. But yeah, it didn't eventuate. And like probably the 4 goals I got were pretty clean play. So it's sort of hard to defend that duck. Yeah, that's what probably a backman's nightmare, really, when you've got them, Basher Hawley and Dustin Martin and Brandon Ellis streaming through the middle of the ground with clean air to kick. So credit to our boys up the field. They created great chances for us. And look, to be honest, I reckon we probably could have kicked a couple more today, but their defence really held strong.
Well, the way you started, I was actually going to put a little bit on you for the Coleman.
Duck figured you only had to kick 52. Well done to you, Jack.
Thanks,
here's
Howie.
Rodney Eade with a real sharp one.
Real sharp one.
Yes.
Well done, Jack.
Thanks, Rocket.
You certainly made Tasmanian proud, seeing that your mum's a cousin of mine.
Correct, that's right.
Related. How
Yep.
is Leslie? She's good?
She's going well. She's at home at the moment. My old man come over to watch the footy, so he's
that's good, big
rolled on over.
cabbage.
Yeah, mum's at home with the rest of the family, looking after the house.
How's the work going with Tommy Lynch? It seems as if you're working some synergy now.
Yeah, we're going okay. He was pretty well held today by a great defender in Harris Andrews. But yeah, we seem to be working pretty well. We like playing. We love playing with each other. And I think we've developed a really good synergy in the marking contest, but also kicking the ball to each other. We have a fairly good understanding of where both of us like to kick it, and we both like the lead up. So I'm really enjoying playing with him and learning a few things off him, and I think he's learned a couple of things off me. So hopefully it can work through September.
Jack, you'll be happy to know your good mate Scotty McLaughlin, a 16th win for the season this afternoon, equaling Craig Lowndes.
And his Bulldogs won too, I think.
Yeah, they did win as well, knocking out the Hawks. The podcast, Balls and Bumpers, you need to listen to it if you haven't. Jack Rewatch, Scotty McLaughlin and old Huckle Hodges. How's that travelling for you? It's nice.
Yeah, we're taking Howie's games down. That's our next next pinnacle for us. But no, it's good. It's good footy. Saw Matty Crouch had 47 touches up there at Ballarat, which was good. How many did Lockie Neal finish up with?
51.
51, Jackie boy.
Yeah. What do they say when you get to 50? Usually I say he didn't have that big of an influence on the game. Geez, he's a good player. He was actually on the podcast last week. Howie, Lockie Neal, he came on. He played golf with Scotty during the week up there in Brisbane. So, he came on the podcast and chatted a few things. So jump on iTunes, download us, get on board.
Bumpers and balls, it's called.
Balls
I
and
heard
bumpers,
it.
Howie.
Balls
Come
and
on, mate.
bumpers, sorry.
Seriously.
Balls and bumpers. Sorry, mate. Hey, well done. Enjoy the week's rest, and we'll see you take on Brisbane potentially on a Saturday night, but that's all to be decided. Well done to you, Jack Rewalt.
Yeah, thank God it's not in the day because I'll be getting sunburn up there in Brisbane, so I'm happy it's going to be at night.
It is Jack Rewalt, always
you,
a
Jack.
friend of Triple M Footy. Well done to you, Robbo.
Thank you, Howie. It's been a pleasure, and let's hit the finals running, hey?
And which final? You get a run during finals, Robbo?
Hopefully. Hopefully the cards fall my way, Howie. Why not?
You'd imagine so. That's it for you, Swatter. Outstanding, mate.
Well done, Swatter.
Well done to Swatter. You'll be
Great effort.
sadly missed by everyone at the Triple M Footy family. You've been a star. Round the grounds, the game we're about to go to, Chewy.
Early into the third quarter, Port by 16 points over Freo.
Well done to you, Chewy. Well done on a Sunday, Ducky boy. Fantastic. Rocket, great to have you part of the team this year.
Thank
well
you,
done
on
to
board.
Wilbur.
Quiz winner.
Yeah, the quiz winner who's been producing all year. Kirky and Jace, Leroy back in the studio. MJ taking over today. Yes, stick around though because we're going to the second half of Fremantle taking on Port Adelaide. Well done to the Tigers. They get the job done today over the Lions by a margin of 27 points. For McDonald's, Triple M, Rocks Footy.